I never know how long the delay is. Is there a delay? I was already streaming. By the way, the router crashed during the week, so we probably won't have a giant drop frames episode. I don't know. So far, right now, it's zero drop frames. That's a rare thing. Usually, right out of the box, when I click go, it drops like 300 frames. So we haven't done that. So you 38 good folks, there's literally 2 gray names in the chat. This is basically just the members show because for some reason Spain doesn't accept gift memberships, and then there's Ed. There's the two non-members in the group. So I'm just watching the chat scroll by. Oh, early on, here's something for you to see. Okay, right? You're familiar with this, right? You hear that sound? There's something about that sound. This? Something about when you take a ball nose router and you route grooves in there and then you fill it with plastic ball bearings. I'm not saying that Safety Sandra doesn't have the joyful spirit. I mean, the camera can't really handle how yellow that is. She is built in the simplest possible way. Can we see through there? Yeah, see? It's a lazy Susan mechanism. No 2 of these are going to be the same. Period. Like Susan, this is plywood. This is scrap plywood for the sides. This is MDF throughout. I don't like how the paint soaks on the edges. Like, see that right there? Also, the MDF, I could go on to a real rant about modern MDF, all softwood MDF, now that they can't put formaldehyde in it. If you put any sort of fastener into this, it will split unless you're shooting face grain straight to end grain. All of these, you can kind of, see right here? I kind of filled it a little. Every single one of them split. Every single, and I have 2 skin outs under the block, but I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, what you can do, because this is a regular lazy Susan, like, that's a great noise. I've come to love that noise. Safety Sandra doesn't really make that noise, but that's what happens when you have metal ball bearings on metal races. Like, if you give her a full good spin, she'll spin for like a minute. Which, I don't know. This is supposed to be a work stand, so like, Susan has just the right amount of rolling resistance, I guess you'd call it. This is I did get it very centered, though. How centered did I get it? Not enough to risk putting things that are going to fly everywhere on it. Anyway. The next one will be Safety Blue. And none of them are named Susan, because these are names. This is Susan. This is Safety Sandra, because she's Rust-Oleum Safety Yellow. The next one, we don't know. Probably a B name. We're big on alliteration here. Yeah, she could be Safety Blue Bethany, or just Bethany Blue, or whatever we end up with. Ooh, Andre throwing him down. RC Guy, Swampers, M. Van, Zachary, Roland Whitworth, Lena Bay. Now, names are coming up that I don't recognize, which, I mean, I guess that's good. Oh, yeah, thick grease on the bearings. That's true. We go with the bananas. You got to go with your superior lubricant. That's what's in Susan. We're getting a lot of Susan spins in today. Look how bright it is outside. Camera does not like that. It's too bright outside. No. It's just when I go to camera 2, like, you can't even see trees out there. It's just white. Outside is just white. Oh, throwing him early as he has to leave soon. That usually means that somebody has to go do something, like, responsible. Ugh. Yeah, work. Work doesn't sound fun at all. So, I would have thought that. Oh, where's he driving? What did I miss? Where's Andre going? The chat moves. Yeah, the blind guy just mentioned that the chat, he's all, now I know how you can't keep up, because the chat's like, and I'm only dealing with, 69 concurrent viewers. Imagine 500 people in the chat. I gotta scroll back down. Yeah. So it's the same as always, only now if I send you an envelope, it's going to have two kinds of stickers in it, because we still have, buried behind rolls of electrical tape, okay, the cost per unit was so low that when I ordered the old ones, they got me to buy 2,000 of them. So that means this roll's 1,000. I've gone through about half of the first roll. This one is untouched. For whatever reason, the new ones came like this, like tickets out of one of those machines at a Chuck E. Cheese. So I'll just lop everybody off. Do you like the one where they stuck a sticker on top of a sticker? So, well, I got 8 extra. I bought 1,000, and it came on 8 rolls of 112. Was it? No, it's not. I'm sorry, 9 rolls of 112. Yeah. So I've used like 10 of them. I'm much happier about this design. A, because you don't need a backer for it. B, because you can cut them up. I encourage you, if you want to chop them up, chop them up. I've already done it. Like the one on Toothless, I just cut it out to where it just says Crawler Canyon and stuck that on. I got the idea. I mean, it's the Run DMC logo, right? It says Run. There's a line that says DMC. But more recently, the YouTube channel Secret Castle Toys and Games. I love any channel that just leans into the absurdity as much as possible. And in one of the episodes, one of the guys, Jason, was wearing a t-shirt that said Secret Castle OBKY. And I was like, ooh, I like that. So, it's imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And I laid this out. I make everything in Keynote, which is the basically PowerPoint, the presentation software for Apple, but you can export in PNGs. And if you can export in PNGs, they can resize it to whatever size you need. I made this in about 5 minutes, uploaded it to shout out, not sponsored in any way. If you have sticker needs and your sticker needs are extensive, well, it just stuck to my thumb, so here we go, right over here. Sheetlabels.com. If you're in the U.S. and you need stickers, sheetlabels.com. They're in Queensboro, New York. That's who I ordered from the first time. That's who I ordered from the second time. It's super simple. It's geared towards me. Like, you upload an artwork. Within a couple hours, usually, a guy will send you a proof to approve that that's the way you want the artwork. So when they sent it back the first time, it didn't have the white border. And I said, can you put a white border on it? Like 20 minutes later, another proof comes with the white border. And I go, that's the one. And it shipped like 2 days later. The only downside is they ship UPS. So UPS said, yeah, we're going to have that to you on Monday. And by Monday, we mean Tuesday. And by Tuesday, we're going to get it to you Wednesday at about 6 o'clock in the evening. UPS, baby, it was in Vernon, California, Sunday night. And I got them on Wednesday. For those unfamiliar with the location and locale, Vernon, California is roughly directly that direction from where I'm pointing. And you could drive there in about an hour. UPS, baby. Yeah, he's over there. I need one for my coffee cup to match your other sticker. Oh, yeah. So it's the same deal. I bought... Do I have some over here? Okay. There's no way to buy small quantities of envelopes. Like, it's not a thing. I bought a box that, like, Shaq's basketball shoes would come in, full of envelopes. And I bought a Costco quantity of stamps when I got the first set of stickers made. But most of the stickers go out when I'm shipping something off to someone. I just shove stickers in the box. So if you want stickers, you know how it works. Find me on a media that is social. send me an email, DM me on Instagram, Discord. There's so many medias that it's impossible to keep up with all of them. But if you send me a message and say, I would like some stickers, please do include an address with that, and I will shove some in an envelope, and I will send them to your house. That delay. Now I'm on. No, I was wrong. It's like that thing where they play a person's voice just out of sync, and then they lose the ability to talk. He was playing the stream through his phone, and the delay is about like 7 seconds or so, and my brain went, everything kind of ground to a halt there for a second. Yeah, you can get them, but they're not available. Oh, and I just cut out. Well, okay, I've given away probably about half a roll, maybe 500 of them, because I had to cut vinyl again for the backers. I'm looking for the other sheet. Because what I do is, you cut them out of Oracal. Can you see the cut lines? There you go. There's the cut lines. So I cut full 12 by 12 sheets of these, and I just had to cut my third sheet of them. So we're somewhere 400, 500 stickers given away. You know. I didn't hear stickers. How do we get stickers? I didn't hear all of what he said. Always getting paid to watch at work every Friday. That's the way to do it. Mr. C, are you doing the Element Compfox kit? No. My Beef Tubes order came with an RCSA flyer talking about how I should follow their build guidelines. Boo! How do we... Oh, and then we're back down to how do we get the stickers. You don't put it in the chat. The chat is very temporal. Once I click stop streaming right over there on that monitor, the chat disappears and then it's gone. Send me an Instagram, message me on Discord, send me an email. Email is probably the easiest because those are easy to categorize. Then I can, on the monitor the chat is on right over here, I just bring it up, fill out an envelope, and send it off to you. Because out of sight is 100% out of mind. And yes, Driver 8 is correct. Your build will come wrapped in them. Yeah, I got a lot. We're just going to do the whole body like, what's the one? Well, like Louis Vuitton or Gucci, how they just logo the hell out of it. We'll just logo the whole body. I can't delete the comment. YouTube is doing this thing. Yeah, so that's how they get you. It's much like the cell phone lanyard things, where it costs the same for 100 as it does for 200, as it does for 400, as it does for 800. That's why I have a giant sack of them. For these, it was $1 more to get 2,000 than it was to get 1,000. Now on the other ones, because they cut them off of those skinnier rolls, getting 2,000 cost literally exactly twice as much as getting 1,000. So I said, we'll start with 1,000. It's all your money anyway. Don't cover tapas and stickers, please. You shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't have said it.
Every sticker we got.
Absolute sticker bomb. He said it. We're going full. I want to say it's Louis Vuitton. I don't know nothing about fancy stuff, so I'd be guessing.
Box of stickers.
Get the whole box of stickers. Oh my God, we do have a lot of stickers. Yeah, that body just needs painted, just like the other 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bodies in here that need painted. And when the inspiration strikes me to paint that one, I will. I have no excuses for not painting them. It's about 75 degrees outside right now. We've hey, if they want to skip winter, I'm all for it. If they don't want to do winter this year, I'm cool. I don't need it either. It can be 75 degrees for the rest of the year and well into the next year. Oh, I almost said something that would have been a knock on wood statement. I almost made a statement about winter. Nope. It's going to be 75 until it turns back into summer. That's how we're going to do it. Now I'm going to look at my phone. Now I'm going to actually look at the 10-day.
Low 70s.
I'm kind of curious as the forecast for Christmas. 61. That's a California Christmas. Oh, you have mail back in Canada? Hey. How much to mail stickers to Canada? I'll have to find out. It was only, like I say, this is when you buy stamps at the Costco, this is how they do the stamps. It was 4 stamps to send one to the UK. I never even asked if the person that I sent them got them, but I assume they did, but it was only 4 stamps, so it was $2 to send to the UK. I can't imagine it would be more than $2 to send to Canada. It better not be more. Well, yeah.
Stamps are like 75 cents.
Yeah. That's why you buy Forever stamps. Back when I bought them, they were 58 cents a stamp. Yeah. That's decided. Winter is canceled. Nice. We need another Cougar in the Canyon. That body is one of the weirder ones Concepts made. I agree. Yeah. I like that body. And for a small wheel build, I think it's a great one. But like many of the J Concepts bodies, the body that's on Rusty, they're basically just doing Lexan versions of hard bodies. Like even a class 1 is big. They kind of want 393s. So I'm not 100% sure who they're aiming those bodies at, but my Cross is going to need some of those new stickers, and he is in a mythical place on the absolute other side of the planet. If you cannot paint it purple or copper bronze, it would be great. Those are the only 2 colors I have in my rigs right now. Oh, man. I actually have both. I have copper and purple sitting right now. Oh, you mean not those 2 colors. Let's see. Okay. Look at camera 3 is going to have a job. All right. If you see anything you like, give me a holler. He said no purple. So we've got, of course, 3 different purples. Gold, gunmetal, black, park green, dark green. The olive drab is reserved. You can't have the olive drab. This is Spastics Candy Apple Hard Anodized Green. We've got translucent gold pearl. We've got matte silver, more gunmetal, red, mustard, orange. This is Corsa. And some of these cans, some of these cans are half or mostly empty, but it's a creep cab. It's not just it's a creep cab, it's a cut down creep cab. Also, paint tapas like tapas. What did tapas look like? Wait, I'm gesturing. What did tapas look like? It's amuse-bouche. It's small food. Yeah. We got 8 inches of snow today, and it was 27 degrees. No. Tell me how to get them. Send me an email. A local stamp for us now is a minimum of 85p. But for first class, it's £1.60. Oh, guys. Okay, I'm gonna do this the lowest budget way of anything you've ever seen. So you better buckle up. Because somebody foolishly said you have too many colors. Guys. Who said you have too many colors? I missed it. Oh, HV, Mr. Spain. Guys, remember where you are. This is just the colors that they paint cars now. That's what lives on this side. So we've got white, black, gunmetal, silver, metallics, and then we have the rainbows. And yes, is it a surprise to anyone that it goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet? It has to. It has to. And
the paint store is not far.
And the paint store is not far. We recently emptied much of that cabinet out because it was overflowing. So I believe he said, "You build it, you paint it." That's what I like to hear. It's probably gold. Pink.
Pink and gold.
Pink and gold. Cardi B edition. Trying to put both of those in at once with one hand was a terrible idea.
Yes.
Roy G. Biv. It's one of the few things I can remember. The other one is Can Orville See Down My Pants? Now, I know there's a second part to Can Orville See Down My Pants, but I can never remember it. So the mnemonic device didn't work as well. Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Mississippian, down, and Pennsylvanian. Epochs, like the times when the dinosaurs lived. There's another one for the planets, but I can't remember what that one is either. If anybody's head is filled with the mnemonic device to remember the order of the planets, let me know. Sorry to change subject. What's a good beadlock wheel ring? Do you mean the middle part? Me being colorblind, seeing dark gray, gray, light gray, yellowish gray, and blue purple.
Yes.
The guy over here. Oh, wait, I gotta find it. Okay. I don't remember if I've related this story to any of you before. Aaron Schmidt will appreciate this. So, Okeechobee Fats. We love 8 shocks. Low-C 8 shocks are probably our favorite shocks of all time. Unfortunately, my very energetic mother just sent us 9 pizzas. There you go. We love 8 shocks. Unfortunately, they're far too big to put on a rock crawler. They have 17 millimeter pistons, and they come in pretty long lengths. So we had found a seller on eBay many, many moons ago selling literally, they just came in a bag. There was a box with a bag in it, and the bag was full of these. These are 8 springs in every rate that you can get, right? So, Chuckles over here had this open and knocked it on the ground, and what happened is exactly what you would expect happened. Springs went everywhere. So he's picking them up, and to put this as delicately as I can, his colorblind ass holds up his hand and goes, "These two are the same, right?" And I went,
"One guy agrees with me, yes."
And I went,
"The same color."
I go, "You're messing with me, right?" And he goes, "No, I need to know if these are the same color." Do you know how they say that most males are red-green colorblind? Are you that red-green colorblind? Are those the same? Are those the same color? Because they look slightly different to me. Yeah. So whenever he gives me any business about color, Christmas must be wild for this guy because it's all red and it's all green and red.
Well, I know the difference between the red shirt I'm wearing.
Well, An Assumption said that it looks the same. So
yeah. See?
we got people to back you up. I'm all for Pluto being a planet. I don't think rescinding planet status is nice. Yeah, I mean, I've heard the references where they say, what is it? Like if we're in relative terms of scale, Earth's moon to the Earth in relative size. If Pluto was Earth's moon, it would be the size of like some sort of Pontiac. So Pluto is really, really small. What do they call it now? They made it even more demeaning. It's like a microplanet or something like that. That's not fair.
No.
That's not fair. JDA79 said, "A little different."
No difference.
See, I already forgot it. My very energetic mother just sent us 9 pizzas. I guess that why it didn't stick with me is it's Mars, Venus, Earth, Mars, and then I kind of forget. Neptune, Uranus, Jupiter. Yeah, I can't remember what order they go in. Does Mr. Blind Guy drop off his checks with you for shock building? That guy's never built a shock. That guy. My wife, knowing that I'm colorblind and dyslexic, still asks me my opinion on color and how to spell things. Nice. Yeah, those bigger than standard beadlock rings. So, bigger in what way? Wider? Taller? Yeah. That's my question. Bigger how? Because the discs, the parts that compose the wheel. Okay. And here's a perfect one to show. Triol uses a very specific beadlock ring. You basically can't use anybody else's beadlock ring with triols. They're almost specific to triols. But like the width of the ring and the width of the wheel is fixed. If that wheel comes with what is this, a 20? Looks like about a 20. That's a 20. If a wheel comes with a 20, you can't put a 24 in it. The halves won't touch each other. If you put an 18 in it, the tire's going to fall off. If by bigger you mean heavier, then I go by whatever's cheap. But I do that because I have access to a lathe. Like, I don't remember which brass rings these are. There are some wheels that will not like these. The front barrel won't want to, like, see how they do a little step? The outer and inner barrels won't want to fit over the step. I'm referring to the outside decorative ring. Okay. And you need it to be larger? Like to make the 1.9 go past. I think all of my 1.9s are assembled on wheels. Okay, so if you're not changing the ring for a cosmetic reason, he's saying bigger. So you mean the rings that come further into the center or further out? We're at my daughter's today, so I can't hang around. We'll watch later tonight. See you next week. Hey! Good evening to the UK. My eager mother just served us 9 pickles. So, if we're talking... okay, there are some exceptions. If you're dealing in inexpensive beadlock wheels, which I assume you are, the 24 bolt this size is fairly standard. That's not a guarantee, but it is fairly standard. So let me get the 2.2s out of the way. So if we go from a regular sort of satin black, we've got the kind with the holes, we've got the kind with these. I don't favor these because they tend to argue with the look of the wheel. Like with a 105, most of these are going to have like a number that's like these are 8-hole, and nothing is ever going to line up and look right. It looks a little too busy. I did put together, and see, I don't even know if I'm answering his question. I did put together this set because see how the 8-8 lines up? That's kind of nice. You get some 8-holes. These 8-hole wheels are kind of hard to find. They're not on Amazon as often as they should be. The black scale hardware is Injora. You can order them straight from Injora. They sell them in bags of 50 to 100. And it's Injora, so buy a bunch of bags. That's the only place I've ever bought the black beadlock hardware is directly from Injora. And when I assembled the wheels for Mr. Spain's rig, that was the last of my. I got to order more. I got plenty of 2. I mean, there's so much 2.5. I need to find some other uses for 2.5 scale hardware. My favorite ring. I'm a kit basher of wheels. I like to build up a wheel. I like just a nice, plain ring like this. I think second place would be the ones that look like they have what I call handles. But again, they're more difficult to fit on a wheel because they're 5 handles. So like they're perfect on that 5-spoke wheel. That's great to me. And this wouldn't work with these. It would look super weird because the holes wouldn't line up to the spokes. I don't know if anyone else is as OCD about the holes in the spokes. And then that would be okay, but it kind of covers it up. So I don't know. It's all cosmetics. So I mean, if you like these, the trick is, and I think I have them in silver too. The trick is going to be finding a wheel face that they cooperate with. Like they'll look terrible. They will honestly look terrible on 105s. To me. Somebody else might be like, oh, those look great. But if I'm buying beadlock rings, more often than not, I'm doing it for color. Broke 2 screws in the H-Tech inner beadlock a wheel ago. 150 down the drain. Ooh. Oh. Did you put scale hardware on Tapas? Also, any updates on him? You know, when we will see him. Have you changed anything? Maybe. Then I just leave it silent and I walk away. That's how good business is done. Because it's got MDF dust all over it. Because we said that we were doing the full canyon, the video is Sunday. The video is Sunday. Oh, I have to have the ring design lined up with the wheel. Yes. Sputter Crawler is 100% right. And there are off times, like when these go on a jig, I've seen this with, I guess this is the 105 I'm going to keep grabbing. Like I will look at where these line up relative to a hole. So I will start by trying to find one where a hole lines up exactly with a spoke. This one is pretty good. Like the Y shape of the spoke, there's a bolt on either side of it. But I've seen 105s that aren't like that. The holes all line up perfectly right in the middle. So you'll try to put some sort of oriented ring on it, and no matter how you orient it, it won't line up. The 5 spokes and the 6 spokes are pretty good about it. And I wish I could find more of the 8-hole ones because I like the 8-hole ones. So as it's a proper canyon build, it has to be 105s. And I might have mentioned in members show, I'm not sure. I ordered gold wheels and gold beadlock rings. And neither of those are gold. But I do like the color contrast. So I think the wheels are going to help determine what color it gets painted, because like, I guess you could do the body red, you could do the body green, you could do it however, get something to line up. I don't know. I'll figure something else out. I just haven't figured it out yet. Dustin Woodham says, "Merry Christmas, everybody." Merry Crimus, everybody. And also a surely pleasant Toyota-thon or Happy Honda Days, whichever one you might subscribe to. 2mm bolts. They're great. Are we going to get an annual shop and canyon tour this year? Always one of my favorite videos of the year. I usually do that in January. I'll have to look. I know I do it once a year. Are those Enduro wheels? These? No. These are HYBDX, the cheapest 105s that you can buy on Amazon. Those are the ones I go for. And if somebody were to ask, and he did, what are your favorite beadlock rings? I would have to say, let me see if I can get them all in one hand.
I like the holy ones.
I would have to say, not black ones. I think this, just the regular black ring is what I replace more than any other. Enduro wheels are great. I have not, and there is a mixture in here. The ones that are silver on silver. These are actual Enduras. These are real Enduras that say Endura on the ring and everything. These are HY, DBX, BDX. as are these, as are these. I buy whatever 105 is the cheapest, and if you'll notice, there's a real nice satin on that set. The barrel or the face, whichever part of the wheel that is. This is more of a matte. There's a good satin on that one. Yeah, I buy the cheapest ones I can because they are here for a good time, not for a long time. This set is pretty much retired. Each wheel has about one screw stripped out in the back from being put together and taken apart so many times. They're not designed for this kind of service. And I don't believe that if you had something higher dollar, I don't believe they would last any longer. I think that with the size of the screws, they're basically just not built to be put together and taken apart 70 times, 100 times. And like I had said before, go back and look through old videos and see how many times Baseline has had those orange wheels on them, which are not the same color as these. This definitely has more. Where are they? There's a completely different color and texture. These are way more of a satin, like a bead blast finish. And these are just kind of like almost frosted orange. And then the rings. I mean, these are gold rings, by the way, as you can tell. Because that and that are clearly the same color. This is kind of, for me, it's kind of the fun of buying $30 sets of beadlocks. You know, you're maybe never going to get the same thing twice. Oh, hey, Pele. I'm new to crawlers. I'm learning a lot from you. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Merry Christmas to you as well. I keep forgetting, and you'll have to forgive me. This is California. It is 75 degrees outside. It's neither beginning to look a lot like Christmas or beginning to feel a lot like Christmas, and Christmas is 5 days away. So many coffee drinks. I do love a coffee drink. I'm gonna have one today. The wheels look good. I can paint them gold after they arrive if you want them to be gold. I'm happy with the two-tone. I like the two-tone. There's some other stuff. There's some other little modifications that have gone on, but that's in a video. So you're going to have to wait for the video. Add Revolt print some custom inserts to match the width of the wheel. What did I miss? Scrolling back up. A Mary Chrysler. Indeed. The holy silver rings you showed tonight. Who makes them? They are definitely Amazon. You do a search for 1.9 beadlock ring, and you're going to have to poke and pinch around. I think the most I've ever paid for a set of beadlock rings is about $12, which isn't bad when you're also talking about a set of wheels that cost about $30. I forget that there are people out there dropping real money, genuine money on wheels. Like I hear the H-Tech conversation going on, and I don't even know what those are. I don't even look. Okay, I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna Google what an SEK is. I guess it's a money. It's a money. Oh, okay. All right. It's a Swedish krona, is what that is. It's a Swedish krona. 79 in Phoenix. That's too hot. I'll stick with the 75. I only know what Christmas looks like from pictures. Oh, I get it. It was all to depend on the body color. I didn't want you to decide how to paint the body just because of the color of the wheels. The gold flakes in the chassis are going to be more of a determiner than the color of the wheels. Like, I want something and what does, as a lady would say, what doesn't go with gold? But I'm leaning towards like a green. I know people had mentioned orange, but I like green, and I feel like here The more I think about it, in the fleet, we don't have enough green. Jolly Green is green. Krunk has some green. Jake the Snake is greenish. Is that it? There's some metallic green on Zoidberg.
The ones you haven't built yet. Your Scalar, your big one, is army green, isn't it?
But I mean green, like Kelly Green or Hunter Green. We don't have a lot of green. So the obvious thing is to paint his green and then send it to Spain. So how matte are the colors I send it? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I forgot. I have those too. They're in that. Well, they were probably in the cabinet. Joanna Gaines, Magnolia Home. When they say matte, they mean matte. And those paints are fantastic if you're doing patina on the outside. Toothless is one coat of Magnolia Home. So good. They are truly matte. Andre is driving next Friday. Oh, see you again next year. As next Friday, I'm driving back from Austria. You can put me on in the background. We don't mind. So have a good drive. Just bought another 500 scale screws because someone got me into the stuff. I don't know who would have done that. Has anyone else tried searching anything on the printing site you imagine? Never heard of it. Root beer brown would go well. Oh, I have that. Metallic green. I have that. Miata Commuter does have all the green trucks. Green okay, but not monster green. Monster green it is. The metallic green on Zoidberg looks great. I think that might have been the last of that can. I might have some, though. Oh, that's right. Tank has got green on him, doesn't he? Didn't I do Tank? Like dark green and gunmetal? Didn't I? I don't remember. I need a new shock stand. I fell and landed on mine and broke it all to pieces. What are you doing wrestling moves on your shock stand for? I will have to, maybe metallic green body and the 105's in black with the gold ring. Clearly, Mr. Spain has never installed scale hardware before. Once you install scale hardware, you're done. You don't do that again. Those wheels are those wheels. Chiquita banana color. Ooh, bright yellow. Ed Scrivener's voting for pink. Pink and yellow? Pink and yellow is an optical exhaustion combo. True. That's a good one. I've got pink. I've got yellow. Oh yeah, and Assumption, I think. Yeah, the work Christmas party. Ugh. As we get close to 2025, what is your top 3 favorite builds of 2024? I could answer that if I could remember what I built in 2024.
Well, you like your pro builds.
Yeah, the Bird brothers, Rainbird, Bluebird, and Fatbird, and yeah, I'm gonna keep calling him Fat because he's a fatty. Those are good guys. Jeez, what else? Did I build Tomax and Zaymot this year? I don't remember. God, I would have to go to my own video catalog to be able to tell you. There have been a lot of builds. I remember fractions of nothing. If anything, a less lip gloss pink, please. Oh no, full fluorescent. The brightest pink that we can get.
We got the Zorana pink.
We've got the Zorana pink. Jeez, why am I thinking pink now? Pink and gold.
I think pink and gold go well.
Pink and gold.
And then he gets to drive a little fairy car.
I'm so pretty. Witchy and bright.
Then all his friends are gonna zazz him. What did you do, borrow your sister's rig?
I'm gonna figure out what length fasteners to use here. I think I'm gonna go with 27s because I got a lot of them. Although,
these are like specialty order, aren't they?
No, Traxxas loves M3 by 27.
We had to order those because you were out of them.
I did build Zombie this year. Oh, I did build Legs this year. Yeah. Oh, and Gary Musey. Yeah.
I've been a lot.
I bought myself a Traxxas 110 High Trail after watching your videos. I understand that there's so much more to choose from. You can literally just put these on a High Trail. Don't make any other changes. A lot of this is like an emerging movement, and your performance will improve dramatically, because when you go from a tire this high to one this high, your CG drops significantly. Like, it will do most everything better. There's a place for these, but I don't think it's on a Traxxas. I don't know about the High Trail thing. Has really not ever really appealed to me. I mean, I get it, but it's not my jam. I like the tires. Yeah, it's the 2.2s. A green version of Fatbird, real bright in the middle. Okay, now you see, I can do that paint job in just a short matter of minutes. Do you hold a preference for skid forward or skid middle? For ease of assembly, put that skid in the middle, baby. Performance-wise, skid forward definitely has its advantages. It is also, more often than not, infuriating in terms of getting a front drive shaft that doesn't fall apart, keeping a decent pinion angle in the front, finding a place to mount your front upper links. Yeah. There's a lot going. Did I drill it big enough? I had to drill new holes in this chassis to fit this skid. I don't know. Oh, that's right. Never mind. Irwin 3D printed a skid for this. And I didn't want to. So I'm just going to keep drilling it out until the screws fit. That's how we do. I drilled it out to 3.5, but it's not clearing. So we're going to drill it out to 4 millimeters. The 2.2 Deepwoods did better than I thought they would. I think the 2.2 Deepwoods did pretty much exactly like I thought they would. 1.9 Deepwoods are great. I thought that we might have a little bit of sidewall problems, but that was not the case. Don't breathe that stuff. And don't lick the bench or the bit after you're done. These are your working with carbon fiber safety instructions. Just rub it into your skin. It's just carbon. We're all carbon. Any advantage to stretching 1.9s onto 2.2 rims other than looks? It shortens the sidewall, so it's almost like tricking the tire into thinking that it's on a dual stage insert. Also, I mean, I can't see a purpose to do it on anything other than like 1.9 ruptures, because ruptures are taller than a class 2, so they have a pretty tall sidewall. But I can't, off the top of my head, I can't really think of any other tires where the sidewall height is so excessive that I'm like, I'll put this 1.9 on a 2.2 to draw that sidewall height down. There's one rig here outfitted that way. Esky is on 1.9 ruptures on 2.2 wheels. And it's common enough that there's actually you can buy 3D printed inserts specifically for that purpose. 2 of his wheels are, he runs regular foams in the front and 3D printed inserts in the back. That very nearly lines up. And it mostly works. Now the question is, did the hole I drill line up? Might have to round it out a little. Might have to round it out a little. Which I should have done before. Let's do this then. I drilled it to a 3. Let's widen that one out to a 3.2. If I can find the bits. Is there a video on how you assemble the 2-layer fridge liner inserts? Yes. I tried double-sided carpet tape, but they squeeze. Once squeezed, they stick compressed. They will a little bit, but not like. I'm assuming you're talking about the inner layer completely collapsing down. I've taken to when I assemble them. We can do an unofficial. So full wrap of tape all the way around, and then this goes all the way around. So imagine it's the correct length. I do a full wrap of tape all the way around again, and then I just go over it again, and then they're like that. And when they get mushed, they'll kind of overstick, but then over time they'll come right back to this. I have a set that is in one of the tires up here that just got tested. Has got the original set of softs, and they look pretty much exactly like that. The only difference is the edges have kind of rounded down because they've been in a round tire. But I wouldn't worry about them sticking. So, he's almost gone, so we can talk about tapas again. Did Esky get a rego? Yes. Yes. He did. Always with the tapas. I think 3.8. I think 3.2 millimeter will do it. That's 296. That's got to be 3.2. 3.13. That's an eighth, and it says 3.2. All right, we'll take their word for it. Yeah, I haven't really had an issue with the collapse. Like, oh man, my 4mm cobalt is dull. This 3.2 is not dull. Also, I mean, I shouldn't be bothering with 3.2. I'd just be drilling one with an 8. How to get 2.2 Louise Champs off of plastic wheels. They're glued on. The first thing you do is prepare the materials you'll need to sacrifice to the gods so that they may show you favor and that you may remove those tires from those wheels, because there's a 50-50 chance it will never happen. I would say that the best possible route is probably the old-timey fuming method. If you can buy acetone, I assume you can. We can buy it in California, so I assume you could buy acetone there. You get like a 5-gallon bucket, you put a tire on a brick, you pour about an inch of acetone into the bottom of the bucket, and you seal the bucket. The acetone is going to melt the glue, the foam, the wheel. It's going to melt everything except the tire, basically. And that might enable you to remove that tire without ruining anything else. Duratrax are the most powerful of glue wizards. A heat gun honestly barely makes a dent. Those things are on there. I generally just advise people, don't buy them on plastic wheels. Doing the heat gun method, you are all but guaranteed to rip at least one of the tires while trying to remove it. They are not messing around. We'll see. I haven't determined if I want to do motors facing backward or motors facing forward. I don't know if we'll come to that conclusion there. Acetone can pull oils out of the tire and dry it out. Yep, it absolutely will. But rubber conditioner is a thing. So, what do they call it? Renew. Let me grab the bottle. You should never, ever, ever, ever open indoors. Yeah, Rubber Renew. You should be able to buy this most anywhere. Never open this inside. This thing says, basically, read full safe. Wow. Malta, UK, Ontario, Canada. Well, there's like no US. Made in Canada. Oh, it's from Canada. It says on the extended, you got to open this up like a pill bottle. and it will tell you like your safety instructions, like do this, don't do this. If you open this indoors, it will smell like this. Like say in the building you're in right now, it will smell like that for, I don't know, only around a year. That's unfortunate. I just bought those cheap mounted fossils. Yeah. They're gonna be tough. Heat guns will definitely burn your fingers. That's why I wear welding gloves. Heat gun and welding gloves. We'll get it done. We're gonna get a ways into the mock-up phase of this. That's my goal. Because there's, oh yeah. Yeah, this skid is gonna be great for this because we're running two little pancakes, which I wanted to put those two screws in just so I could immediately take them out. Broke two scalpel blades removing a set of Traxxas tires. They should use that glue to fix the damn roads. Yeah, I've removed so many Traxxas tires that I'm getting quite good at it, if I may pat myself on the back. And I used to think that Traxxas employed some proper glue wizards. Those are mounted. Give me an unmounted set. Like these are debonded. Like Traxxas now, I've pretty much got it down. Duratrax, I thought I was going to get better at it, but I don't think it's possible. Yeah, these are debonded as well. I thought I was going to get better at it. Like I don't even have the big, like a lot of times there'll be glue all along this bead surface, and when you stretch it, it goes. Duratrax are just impossible. I was removing a set of approach that were glued onto wheels, and they did not want to give up. They did not want to give up. So I ripped one of those and ended up having to glue the sidewall back together. Oh, those are completely ruined. One of them, yeah. So you saw this, right? That's pretty typical, right? You'll usually destroy the wheel, but that's not a problem. We're getting rid of the wheel anymore. This is what it's like to get a Duratrax off. And this one is actually in fairly good shape. It's only got a couple rips, but like I say about you can't get that stuff off. Oh, and this is the deep woods. No, those are fine. You grab the wrong. Well, get out of my way. Get out of my way.
Never.
I'll show you all what a real ruined one looks like. If I can remember what dang drawer it's in. So the heat will distort the shape. There's so much glue that you can't get it all off. And then sometimes the rim will just hold on to a chunk of bead. This is more typical to what your results will be. And then look at all the splits. They did not come out well. Now, they'll still mount, so I can still mount them up. Killer Instinct. Oh, we had a commuter. Oh, we were down to 160, I think. Around 160 members. They're probably glued on, but I'll also put on when it's still hot from the mold, so it's like a molecular bond. That makes sense. You haven't got to worry about Duratrax anymore, but we still have Louise. I can still worry about Louise. I forgot. Okay. What I need to do is I need to mount both of the motors. This thing's going to be an apocalypse is what it's going to be. There's going to be parts sticking out everywhere. 2 outrunners is going to be a lot of wires. Like I say, we're just mocking up. It's going to take too much time. I made a mistake. When I did Member Show, I forgot. There's a box over on the other side of the building, which has a rig to be built. One of the rigs that's departing. And I could have just built it. Like, no fit, like I don't have rear links for this. I'm going to have to make them. Because it's going to need some big high clearancy links. I don't know how the slidey portion... Oh, I guess like that. There's not a lot of pinion room on this old Chief here. But it's running one axle. I like to listen on my Fridays off while I clean my house. Hey. I think there's one of these. I think there's pinions. Somewhere there's a little bag with pinions in it. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. I got so JDA got an $1,125 Christmas bonuses. And that's not too bad. I made that goal on Amazon affiliate links and got $135. $135, everybody. We'll call that a Christmas bonus. I think that the affiliate stuff is they're going to start cracking down on it because I think people are figuring out ways to manipulate the system. I'm sad about this because I never figured out any ways to manipulate the system. Uh-oh. Hey, RC Guy. Well, I can't gift memberships for my phone, apparently, but here's what I can contribute. Thank you for creating a safe place for our hobby and all the content you create. Keep doing what you do. I'm going to keep doing it. As long as y'all keep showing up, we're going to keep doing it. Why not? Why wouldn't we? If I don't have new things, then I won't have new things to rant about. I need to rant about some stuff. Yeah, these motor mounting tabs are tripping me out. They could have made the gearbox a little wider. They could have made it a little bit wider. Anyone noticed it? What did I miss? I haven't noticed it. The Traxxas glue guys say we use the best glue for our tires. Durtrax says hold my beer. 100%. 100%. Are you going to do a video where you're setting the ESC receiver to operate independently? Yeah, it'll be in part of the series for it. Yeah. Yeah, 4 sets of 105s for free. I'm holding out for Jelly of the Month Club for my bonus. That would be awesome. You know what? I mean, we make jokes, but I think all of us would I would genuinely be excited for Jelly of the Month. And then my first month I'd get marmalade and I'd be mad about it. Look at this. Oh, huh. Oh. All right. All right. All right. I think it has chosen for us. It only really fits one way. I didn't know if it was going to be motors forward or motor backward. Oh, I got to get back up there. Hey, JDA79. Eric Price, correct. Jeremy Mitchell, John Allen, Bentley. Ed Scrivener. Ed Scrivener is becoming a Hugo level free membership dodger. Because he's the only gray name on the screen. Red Cat needs to release some more 1/10 scale rigs so we can all rant. Can they think of another permutation of the Ascent? Like, what else can they do to the Ascent? And by extension to us. So that's ridiculous, isn't it? Is that ridiculous? I feel like that's ridiculous. I want to be a fly on the wall when you build the skin for there's going to be a lot of curve. What? I Anyone else noticed the apparently growing negativity on the YT RC crawler space? Growing? What's the benefit of running multiple motors? You have, so one of our favorite things, hey, driver 8! One of our favorite things is dig, right? The ability to lock out the rear axle. So this is approaching motor on axle. So you can give 100% throttle to the front axle and 100% reverse to the rear axle and do that Mercedes twirly thing. You can have infinite underdrive or overdrive. So you can dial the rear down, run the rear at 80%. So now you have 20% overdrive to the front. I'm making all of this up. I've never driven it. So is there an advantage? Oh, also, drag brake like you've never seen. It's 2 motors, 2 ESCs. I still haven't even decided if I'm going to just do a splitter and run 1 pack or if I'm going to run like 2 850s in it. Which I see, that's why this is a mock-up episode, because I'm going to have to build sides for it because I want to run the batteries on the sides. And I'm probably going to build some sort, well, he's got the little piece that goes right here. If I can find it. I think I know where it might be. I might know where it might be. I'm going to try to get the some of the electronics on that. There it is. There it is. So I can probably get both. Ooh, that's very snug. I can probably get both ESCs up on that. Maybe. How does that drive shaft clear? Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the mocking up phase. So I'd like to say thank you for introducing me to Cowboy Bebop. I plan to binge watch it after the member show and basically the rest of the weekend. It's so good. It's so good. Red Cat needs to make better axles before they make it better another crawler. Good luck there. Good luck there. The dual motor setup is going to be fun squared. Modded the MOA setup so 4th channel reduces rear motor speed by half. Not quite dig, but does the job. I want to set it up on an RC6, and most likely I'm going to have to learn a little bit of channel mixing that I'm not fully, I'm not on board with yet. Like, I don't know how to do it. I have an idea of how I have an idea of how I think I'm going to do it. Whether or not that will actually be functional, I don't know. The bit in the front of the chassis, that bit goes in the front of the chassis and the bearing carrier goes in that slot. Not mine. Mine doesn't. So this goes there. I mean, that makes as equal amount of sense. I didn't 3D print anything, so we're going to be using the Rhino, and I will probably have to drill holes. But as we're mocking things up, I'm not going to drill holes. I'm going to use screws and just bolt this thing down. I'm surprised you aren't going to use dual reedies. Did you review our Argenum's run? I didn't. I mean, we'll leave it. We'll leave it up to y'all. So Miata Commuter watched closer than I did because I was in the moment, and they say Argenum did a 22, which means he's mathematically eliminated. Now, we've experienced this before in other series where the scoring is live. It's going on as it's happening. And we had all manner of camera problems and filming problems and anything else. So if he got a 22, I believe it. If you say he got a 22, I absolutely believe it. Now, do we retro it? And does he get knocked out? Or do we let him go? I don't know. I can go either way. I can put it up as a poll on the board, community board, And I think I kind of have an idea of how that would turn out, because I feel like Argenum is kind of a favorite, so I feel he might not get a completely fair treatment. Fabricating has got his dual motor going. This will be going next year. I'm not going to be foolhardy and say that this thing will touch rock but before the end of this year. So it's a busy little guy. You need 5mm spacer if you're using the Rhino carrier. But for what? Oh, also, RC family, is your Rhino carrier the old one or the new one? Because I don't know if the dimensions are the same. This is the new one where you can position the carrier. It's actually a separate piece. They might be different widths. I feel like that's tapered in. Yeah, I mean, to keep it straight, yeah, you'd put about 5mm in there. That amount of taper is not going to be a problem unless all of my spacers are wider, and they are not. So all of my chassis spacers are this width. So you make the rules here. And our gentleman had much runtime. Give him another chance. Try using a super long shaft with no carrier. My idea was double bends, so these links will come off and go up and then straight and then come back down to the axle. And in order, also the single shaft, like, so I'm assuming you're running the. Here's why I was going with the carrier. The rear output is way up here. Are you just running one giant long shaft out that? Because I'm also setting this up for a fairly substantial wheelbase. We're looking at 330 to 340. One shaft would be like the extent of what a cut to length will go to. Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards the pinch. This is something that doesn't often happen here. So that gearbox for the dual motor is basically two gearboxes put together. Yeah, and very simple ones at that. It's a pinion gear driving a hat gear, and then the hat gear drives an output gear, and that's it. Yes, it is two 3-gear gearboxes mated together. And somewhere out here is the bag with the pinions in it. I thought I threw everything in here, but that is what I get for thinking. They're little too, like 8 tooth or 9 tooth. Was no, Argenum did not get a hand of God. I didn't have to touch him. Maybe not that your trans looks further forward than mine. Yeah. Well, I was debating. I mean, I could flip it and run it with the motors forward. But again, a big part of why we're mocking up right now is I think with motors forward, there's a risk of the drive shaft hitting the motors because we're offset pumpkin. That hole does not line up at all. I'm gonna have to do some trimming on here. There's gonna be trimming for sure. The extents I will go to not 3D print. There's just no way to tuck these wires where it's comfortable to me. Will you do 4-wheel steer? Well, not on this. No, this would this is the one build you definitely wouldn't do 4-wheel steer on. You can turn your rear axle off. 4-wheel steer is for when you don't have all that stuff. Motors forward might also make the wire routing messy. Yeah, I'm kind of going by we're really going by feel right now. Like it feels right. Motors like that. I can also always, I'll grab it here in a moment. I know for a fact that the rear, what was I going to say? Gone. It's gone. It's gone. Mr. C, was it just me, or were you really pissed in last week's members video? My wife came in and said, "We've never heard you swear like that." I got no beeping problem with swearing and beeping all. Yeah, it was this Friday was a much smoother Friday than last Friday. Yeah, that was. I've been in better moods, and the members video felt like a perfect. It felt like a real safe space for me to be grumpy, and I was grumpy because I feel like I'm grumping to people that have the same grumps that I do. If you have one axle going forward and one reverse, it moved. Dang it! If the refs didn't see it, it didn't happen. Argentum stays. I'm glad it did something build. Mr. Yes. I wonder how long it'll be before you can 3D print a 3D printer. You could probably do it now. If you have one axle going forward and one in reverse, does it count as reverse in points? That's a good question. I was looking at, no one has ever mentioned this. You guys are a big source of my information. I am very sheltered. Segue. The audio streaming service that I use is called Pandora. And it's because I've been on Pandora like since I was in college. So whenever Pandora started, that's about when I started using it. And we went to we've been on the family plan for like over a decade. So I'm a Pandora guy. I don't do Spotify. I don't do Apple Music. I don't do Amazon Music. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm a Pandora guy. Every year, they release a playlist called the Top Thumb 100, which is the 100 most thumbed up songs of the year. I'm probably about a dozen songs into the top 100. I think I've only heard 3 of them before. I listen to popular music, so infrequently, I don't know who any of those things are. People will often ask me, have you seen this new thing or that new thing? No. I don't go out seeking news on new crawler products. I wait for them to organically just show up. I'm terrible. I'm that guy that they make comic strips that trend towards this idea. I have a problem. Have you done any of these things to fix it? No, I haven't done anything. And then you just expect the problem to fix itself. So much as I get, the only way I find out new music is it'll pop up on a station, and then I've discovered that. Drum Sound and Bassline Smith do drum and bass. I had never heard of them before about a year ago. Most of their music is 10 years old. How am I going to find it? They don't play it on the radio. The radio's not a thing anymore. You can't go to a record store and find out about new music. Either somebody has to tell you about it or an algorithm will decide to feed it to you. So I don't even go out and look for new stuff. I stumbled upon this when shopping for, the first time I saw one was I was searching for crawler gearboxes. So it popped up and I was like, what is that thing? And now there's like half a dozen different ones, at least. So, I believe there was a question. How heavy are the motors? Not. These are 3625s, and if memory serves, they are around 2 ounces. They're really light. We're a good ways. Like, obviously, drive shafts. Ooh, I'm gonna get to use it is weird to me that, like, the gearbox doesn't look it when you pull it out of the package, but it is really asymmetrical. That lower output is dead center in the middle of the chassis. That upper one is not. It is definitely off to one side. And it's very close to this motor. Let me grab I think I have a cut to length or a metal shaft. I don't know if I have anything that will perfectly span this. No, not right now, I don't. I'm probably going to have to order shafts. Oh, that's plenty of space. There's like 4 millimeters in there. There's plenty.
Now, do the motors rotate the same direction or opposite?
Oh,
Or do you know?
Oh, I bet the pinions are in that same box. I don't know. That will be interesting. Yes, they are in the same box. Any dual motor guys? Do they rotate the same direction? Or do they rotate opposite directions? I think opposite directions would just look cool. And I think it would also reduce any torque twist, because then you'd have a properly counter-rotating gearbox. Exo Cage has the new Hobbywing Fusion 8. Didn't really say anything about it, though. That sounds right. New to the channel and loving it. On a side note, I really enjoyed the TRX Sport series. Hope there's more to come. I'm running out of things to do. Now Sandy's just getting abused. They're being forced to test things. They're part of the test fleet now. They're parked with the test rigs. But like in terms of tuning a TRX for sport, I still intend to install, like, the box is getting low. The box has a Bauhaus, which I run on Daphne, some springs, and some lights. That's all I had left. As Sandy sits right now, I don't know how much more I would do, honestly. Ask Mr. Truitt is on here. Ask Mr. Truitt how Sandy does hanging with other rigs driving out there. Sandy can go. Sandy is a Traxxas baseline, really. That's kind of what we achieved with him. And I don't want to change the fenders. I don't want to change the body, the wheels, the tires. I don't want to change any of that stuff. So there's not a lot that can be done to him that doesn't alter the DNA. And speaking of altering DNA, okay, I need to, no, I'm bouncing. I need to stop bouncing for a minute, and I need to put these pinions on before I lose them again. For a newbie, a 329 Sandy, a 209 baseline, or a 289 Ascent? Sandy, you need a deeper parts bin to get an element outfitted. And also, the pinion problem. The fundamental problem of elements is that the pinion in the axle is too small. Even if shimmed perfectly, at some point you will probably grenade one. And you're not going to grenade a one in a TRX4. Like, they're nigh indestructible in a TRX4. You'll break something else. A Porter input gear or something will go. But just in terms of the amount of sheer durability combined with the amount of sheer versatility of the TRX4. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to file these things in my head because I'm going to forget half the things that you guys have said to me. Okay. No, I got to do this one. Okay. So, someone had asked this before, like, how close is baseline to being an Enduro SE? If you buy an Enduro SE today, the links are the correct length. We had to replace Baseline's links because when he came, he was with a 313 rig on a 328 body. So his tires were wedged all the way in front of the wheel wells. So he stretched his rear end back. I have changed out the shock towers, but they are the exact same geometry as the stock ones. I just like these towers better. These are Gatekeeper towers, but they're still Element. He's on Element C-channel rails. He still has his bumpers, his fenders, his gearbox. An SE comes with no underdrive overdrive. I've added the underdrive overdrive to it, right? He's still run the sliders, the sides. He has been long-term testing Chavtex, and I think we've kind of established, like, these have never been refilled. Never. They're still working great. So all of his lengths, all of his geometry, his drive shafts, everything, he is still an Element Enduro SE. Over time, all of his bushings have been replaced with bearings, save for two. His pinion outputs, his pinion output, at least on this one, is still a bushing because it'll never break. But, like, He is still an Enduro SE, but
How we put Diamond Pros on it?
no, that's on Penabe. But he drives so much, he's had every single part of him replaced. Virtually. There's almost nothing left of him. His bumpers both broke off long ago. I cut off the broken pieces, drill it, tap it, put a set screw into it. His front bumper broke off. You can see the metals almost immediately. He's on his third front axle housing, third or fourth front set of C-hubs. Now, yes, he works for a living. He works really hard. But a TRX4, I would be willing to wager over the same amount of service period would have less parts that needed explicitly to be replaced as fast. The parts are bigger. The parts are more robust. He's 1.5 pounds lighter than Sandy. So it's give and get. And he's straight axle. So I want you to think. TRX4s are big, heavy tanks that give you this versatility to make it into virtually anything that you want to make it into. Because Daphne is basically a TRX4 Sport, just like Sandy is. And only they look completely different and they drive wildly differently. But they even share the same chassis. And by an extent, the same axles. I think for a start, if somebody is starting on an RTR, and that's where you're making your beginning, the only option out there is the TRX4 Sport, the clipless TRX4 Sport for $329. I'm hoping that at some point Traxxas is either going to put it on like sale or the price is going to drop back to $299.99, and then they will literally well and truly have no competition at that price point. Nothing. Can you make a video of shock tuning? Not many on YouTube. I think I've done one or two. Would love to see you testing rigs with a trailer or caravan in tow. We do caravan banger racing in 12th scale. They're so expensive. Somebody needs to make like a kit, like a trailer kit, like build a trailer. And I'm sure there's 3D printed options out there, yada. Baseline could tow a trailer. I think he's got a receiver in his bumper. I don't think I shaved it off. I shaved it off. He could tow a trailer around. I mean, who doesn't love a trailer? I feel like I might go buy a 3S. I'm thinking that says Typhon. VRC sports dual motor on HD overkill. They spin the same directions because they're spinning a normal gearbox with two motors. That one is going to be opposing unless the center driveline is connected. It is not. They are separate. I was going to ask you if those are element axles that you would like to put some SSD weights on them that are not being used. Oh. Yeah, baseline. I also want you to take that into consideration, if you will, for your consideration. Baseline has run all those hours and all those miles and is running stock plastic knuckles. He's never had axle weights added. Never had knuckle weights. So just, if you see baseline pull a line and then you see something else not do it, there's a drawing board we should be going back to. Hey, good looking fella. 5 gifted memberships up from Canada. Yeah, why are the trailers so spendy? That is an excellent question. That's an excellent question. Yeah, we still have plenty of element axles in service here, and there are plenty of them that could use weights. The only reason that there aren't axle weights, there aren't knuckle weights on every vehicle here because it gets expensive. That's why vehicles, this one is being built for here. You're not taking this one away from me. But a lot of the rigs here being built recently are built all but explicitly to go to forever homes. But I'm keeping this one. This one I'm keeping. Because as soon as the chassis came in, I was like, I have ideas. Yeah, 8 tooth pinions. 8s. Given Baseline's performance on Wednesday, does he need anything? He probably doesn't. Well, you also have to remember, Baseline laid that course out. Baseline has laid out every course except for Blue Line, which isn't built yet. It's mostly built but I need a rainy day to get on the lathe and make the bases for the gates. And it's 75 outside, man. It's real hard to come into the shop and do stuff when there's outdoors. Yeah, 8-2-32 pitch. Could baseline convert to a mullet? He could. Yeah, you could. Element is the easy. That's basically what legs was, the coupe. If you want to build a mullet with the least amount of effort possible, start with element. Because they use center pinion, so you can just flip the ring and pinion in the axle without changing any parts. And then they run 1520s in the portals. So you just take your Stealth X, turn it around, and it's going to net you somewhere right around 20% rear underdrive, and then you're done. Element also has it so you could make a mullet with 0, with no underdrive, no overdrive. It's possible. I don't know why you would. I mean, I would shoot for around 20. Are you going to incorporate a wooden obstacle for Class 1? We desperately need wooden obstacles. I have a pile behind where the concrete plant is, next to the bin shed. If we're just talking pallet wood, we have stacks of old wood that are waist high. But I have never yet managed to successfully make a wooden obstacle that I like. So yeah, on the Discord, find some pictures, find some imagery of wooden obstacles that I can crib off of, because y'all do know that underneath Undertaker, where Daphne's line is, that's wood under that. I just liked it so little that I built an obstacle over the top of it. Undertaker is basically 3 raccoons in a trench coat. It's an obstacle on top of an obstacle on top of an obstacle on top of an obstacle. Wait, why does that say trailer on the way? Dang it! Miata Commuter went straight from the comments straight to, I have to assume, Ally Express.
I thought Miata Commuter was the one that said those are pricey.
No, Sputtercrawler was the one that was asking why they cost so much. And every time I see him, like, Red Cat makes a trailer that they sell for like $250.
Yeah, you can buy a rig.
Yeah, it's wild. Would you run VRD carbon shocks if you got the set for $35 shift? I would. Just run them upside down. They leak about half as much if you run them upside down. So yeah, just run them upside down. You need an old wet log. We have logs. Some of them are old, but wet is hard to come by here. I might need a baseline mullet. Stunod, you could build one fairly easily. And now that they're selling Sendero SEs for $209, you're going to be building the cheapest mullet out there. The hard part is going to be getting either one element portal axle, because to my knowledge, they still don't sell the pieces a la carte. Yeah. I don't know how the axle would be the problem, because then you're going to have because you just need a rear axle. Or a 4-wheel steer, a front axle in the rear. Oh, no, that's right. They don't have a rear axle. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, you just need one. Then you ask yourself, what do you do with the other one? The teeter was a pretty killer obstacle. Yeah, the teeter is far less wood now. So the teeter's a lot better now that there's less wood involved. What was I doing? Oh, I got pinions on. That is actually quite a bit of gear reduction. Yeah, sadly, the motors rotate the same direction. Yeah, there's no way to reverse it either, because they just...
Can't flip the gears in the axle?
No. Hold on. Wait a minute. I almost lost my mind. Okay. Listen, Listen, come in real. I want to do. I wish I could do the zoom thing. I'd be way out here, and I'd go, come in real close. Listen to me. There's a guy over here. Can't see colors. Can't see most anything, really.
I have good thoughts.
He's got thoughts, though. He thinks thoughts, all right? Let me tell you about the thought thinking. I get too far inside the problem, right? These motors both spin the same direction. The guy over here goes, well, can't you just reverse one of the axles? So if we take an 830 reverse, which I think I might have, put it in here, reverse the rotation of this, then we can run the two motors in opposite directions so they'll spin towards the center of the chassis. Do you think we're doing this? Oh, 100%. 100% we're doing this. This thing's going to have one motor clockwise and one motor counterclockwise. See? And I never would have thought of it. I wouldn't have gotten there on my own. That's what that guy's for. That's why he's here. He's outside the problem. He thinks outside the problem. Yeah, this thing is going to be pretty sweet. Oh, the body. I said I was going to grab the body.
FM Troy.
Can't pay attention to nothing, no how. That's not it. There it is. Ah! I'm not saying that a fight started over there, but I got into an altercation with some equipment. Of all the things I've lost, it's my mind that I miss the most. I don't even notice it because it slipped away so gradually. Hey, Tompus is back. Put some logs in your little pond and don't forget to add a one-eyed gator. Oh, that took Stubbs' hand? The waterfall is going to have a perpetually wet area. That is not a plan that will be realized into reality. There will be a part of the waterfall that you can drive on. That's going to happen. You could make a motorbike bowl out of wood. Oh, I see what you're saying. My big problem with trailers is they come in pieces and no instructions. Yeah, I'm getting used to that.
Trailers all look the same.
Just tap it in. Tappy tap tap. Just a tap taparoo. So if y'all remember the lanky boy with the, look at that. That's not a hood, that's a pier. So this is you want to see how small this thing looks when it's going to go under here?
Is it a Sen F350?
You know, look at that. He's going to be hiding under this thing. I'm probably going to end up having to chop, like how there's this line. We're probably going to chop the rear off because it's supposed to be down here. Probably going to chop it up high up there. We'll trim it as much as we need to. The reason this body is here, good old J Concepts. We'll try to go center to center. That's about 335 wheelbase on that. And we all voted for the color scheme on your shirt. I thought they were talking about me. No, they're talking about Hugo. No, you're absolutely right. We have. Also, I don't know what I did with the tie rod for this. I think I have one though. It's not a problem. I don't need it today or tomorrow. I don't know if I need it in 2024. But I think this is I think I ordered an extra deluxe one. Yeah. So I got a titanium one. Titanium. Let's do a little mocky up here.
What body are you putting on it?
It's a J Concepts Chevy slant nose pickup of some sort from their monster truck collection. Official GM licensed product. It's got like Firestone and True Value stickers. I love it. I love it. It needs the big blower in the hood.
They sell them for
RPM.
Yeah.
I have a friend who has made a chassis, and I'm doing a budget build in 2025. Was wondering if you'd be interested in the chassis, trying it out if he's cool with it. Yeah, absolutely. Anything that shows up, I'll test it.
But you got to pay for return shipping.
Yeah. The body it's J Concepts. It's a Chevy. It's for monster truck. I was hoping to have that. J Concepts 0344. I can't remember it. If you just search for J Concepts 0344, it'll tell you. This, and you can see, oh, look at all the detail on the bed. I think that this body was under $30, and that's why I love J Concepts. Because they understand realities. HBO3, how do you feel about mustard and brown?
We have mustard.
This is a big one. 340 wheelbase, basically. And if I chop the back of it, we can do whatever wheelbase we want.
What is this, an 8-scale monster truck?
I think so. Like LMT. It's pretty big.
Oh, that's a big body.
That's a big body. As soon as I saw a 330 wheelbase, I was like, well, I'm going to get one of those.
Mustard's easy to get.
Mustard and brown. Trusting us was your first mistake.
Dijon and mustard.
Honestly, though, here's the thing. We all joke about brown and yellow.
They go well together.
Pee pee poo poo. But there's that FMS K5 that's brown and yellow. That's my favorite one. Like, that's the best looking one. Brown and yellow works. Okay, so I have a plan for the outfit of this. A tie rod. I should have put the tie rod together. You know what? I might have to put a tie rod together. Because this is going to be the flopsiest thing you've ever seen. This is the box that the axles came in. If only the mind loser hadn't taken all of the stuff out of the box and then distributed it into locations unknown. What's in here? Oh, that's an unused set of axles. Oh yeah, that's why those chassis rolls are in there. Derp. Okay, all right. I'll just get some ends. I need some offset ends, or as I call them, angled. We're gonna go at random here. It ain't gotta be right. It's just gotta be now. Brown and yellow was probably the first color combo in truly ancient history. I mean, it's true. They had access. A Wolverine needs a similar body for tire testing. Something narrow to clear the big boys, but add that extra top weight for added difficulty. Let's just slap a Mojave on him. just right over the top of the cage. Just put some real high weight on him. The rat rod body for E-Revo is 340, 350. Only got one Lexan body left. Replaced all others with 2mm vac form ABS bodies. You can't kill polycarbonate, man. It's eternal. Okay, all the way down. You need a Deadpool build to go with Wolverine, but what would it be? Like, what is, and I mean, we do remember that my semi-tongue-in-cheek method for naming it Wolverine was that the first time he fell down off of an obstacle, he just went clank, which is what Wolverine would do because he's got a metal skeleton that weighs like 150 pounds just for his skeleton. So I don't know what Deadpool would be. I mean, it'd be easy to do. It'd be red and black, but
pools of red.
What makes a Deadpool build? We have to brainstorm this. I'm just building a Okay. I'm building a tie rod here. I'm going to find that other tie rod now that I've built this one. Push that right through. Then I have my, remember, woodworker background. If you can, you make yourself, it's a, I think it's mahogany. It's not walnut. I've hit it with a hammer a couple times. It smells like my hands. I can't tell you what it is. I made it a while ago. I've referred to Wolverine as Thud. Yeah. I love it when he falls off of Hans Booby, Gate 5, Front 9, and he just goes, plunk. There's no shift, there's no, he just, bam, just hits. I was going to name my cage wig Raid. My cage rig Wade. That's hard to say. That's pretty good. A Deadpool build would be black and red and have very sharp bits. You mean like when I took my kid's esthetician case? That's a word. Esthetician cases, pack-outs are just esthetician's cases for boys. That was what got me in the wrist. It's closing up pretty. It's okay. It was a little bit of a bleeder. It was a little bit of a bleeder. I lifted it out of the car and tried to slash my own wrist with it because I misjudged both the weight and the slipperiness of the case itself. All of my cars are modified or custom-made chassis to suit each shell. Hey, build to the body! Build to the body! Building to the body is how we do.
Multiple times.
I'd say, honestly, I think half the builds in here are built to the body. No other reason, just building it to the body. My rig Pangolin does the same landing, but on a Lexan body. Ugh! And the body is cracked in 11 different spots. Well, Nautical came over here and brought a Falcon Edition Phoenix that has seen all of the things. That body was equal parts zip tie and body. It was kind of impressive, honestly. And most of the stickers were worn off the sides. That's how you do it. And his bumpers were all rounded. I do like a rig that's been driven a lot. It was like the Phoenix version of Baseline. Building to the body now to make a two-door Bronco with IFS. Nice. Okay, this tie rod is too long. This tie rod is really close. This tie rod is close enough for us to ship it. It just has to hold the axles in place so that the tires aren't flopping all around so that we can mock this thing up. Because that's what we're here for. It's Mock It Up Friday. I realized slightly minutes before this started, I realized I don't have a servo for this. Then I remembered. Unfortunately, somber times now. I get paid on the 21st of the month. That's when I get my direct deposit from Google. The 21st of the month is a Saturday, which means I won't get it on the 21st. I won't get it on the 22nd. I should get paid hopefully on the 23rd, which means no pre-Christmas buying sprees, but leading the leaderboard in things for the buying spree is a good old direct power 60 kg. Or maybe an AGFRC 55 kg. Ooh, are we feeling spicy? I don't know. It's gonna be one of our usuals. And honestly, it doesn't even need that much power because it's BTA. You get away with a 40. Yeah, at least you know that Vanquish was used and not a shelf queen. Absolutely. Well, now, see, Mr. Spain says, build to the body. I'm going to build a rig just for Panther Cougars. Well, that's as far as I'm concerned, that's just reasonable. Like, building to a body is all about the vanity and the cosmetics of it. Building to Panther Cougars is just smart. I'm doing everything out of frame to make your viewing experience more interesting. Ooh, I just knocked over a whole little serving cup of beadlock screws. That's the universe. This is the only way to cut out bodies. I've watched people do the scoring trick where they score it and snap it with a razor knife. Not me. I cannot do that. I don't know how they do that. This is the commitment level. You know you're committed to something when you start cutting out plastic. Why not motors forward? Because the front because then the drive shaft would exit out through this little hole, and the front axle is offset pumpkin, so I'm almost sure that the drive shaft would rub on the motors. Meanwhile, the rear output is up here, going right to there, and then you got the front output like that. So I think this way, I also kind of like the cosmetic look of it. It looks kind of like a, well, it looks like a jet submarine, but I like the looks of it, and I think that it's going to, Neil Daniels scores and snaps. No. I only say that because I don't know how to do it. And it is 100% too late for me to learn. I'm a curved Lexan shears guy. I've never even used a set of the straight ones. This is how we do. And I go in a little loosey-goosey on the fronts of the wells because I'm just going to clean it up with a Dremel. The problem is, this is how I've always done it. Is it the best way? It doesn't matter. It's far too late. I don't have Lexan scissors, and I won't be buying any as I buy one body a year. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I'm giving you anxiety. Neil Daniels is a score and snap guy, and I'm giving him. Is it that when I get this close to my? Is when I get that close to the flesh? It's just scissors. Nobody's ever cut a finger off with a pair of scissors. See, like this is why I do it this way. Like, because I don't know no better. And also, this is a newer pair. I finally replaced my, over a decade old pair. They're so sharp now, you can do a little bit of the, when you cut the wrapping paper and you get that, this glides down. You can get that through the Lexan because the money saved on a J Concepts body is saved for a couple reasons. One, they don't ream us. The other is their pulls are not, they don't start quite as thick as others do. I want to say that most other manufacturers, the newer Pro lines for sure, they're starting with 060 sheet and then pulling it. So when they're done on a pull, usually down here along the rocker, they'll be about 040. I want to say J Concepts must start at around 040. And then when they're done, you get down here at the bottom. Some of them are pretty flimsy. Could you do us all a favor and set that up with the T8S or the M212? No! Scissors are for running with. Truth. Yeah, there's no chance that an MT12 or the T8 are going anywhere near this. Because I want to enjoy this. And the T8S makes me feel dumber than I already feel on any given day. And I've just I'm comfortable in the knowledge that I am never going to learn how to program EdgeTX. And I can say that. I can say it with certainty because I have a reasonable notion of the effort that would be required to learn to program EdgeTX, and I don't have it inside me. I have a finite amount of energy that I can expend spread between the things that I do on any given day. I don't have enough energy to redirect to learn to program EdgeTX. That almost rhymed. So my MT12 will continue its happy, non-exploitive life where it runs a bunch of go-fast rigs, and I just revel in how good the ergonomics of that radio is. And the T8S, I will tinker with it again. It's right here in a box. I'm touching it with my foot. But I feel like an abject moron every time I pick it up. Like it's counterintuitive. I've been doing this for so long, it's all I know how to do. The dog. Why did that feel so... Thought I left another one on. The dog is too old to learn the new tricks. I have a TRX4 with a 336 millimeter wheelbase and it is not easy to find bodies for it. Most have a wheelbase of 312. This is true. The most you're going to be able to find, well, like I say, this would fit you just fine. But most bodies are going to be 313. That's going to be 90% of the bodies out there. Then you're going to have 328s. A 328 will do just fine on a 336. At most, you might have to, and you notice, like, they know people are going to have to carve these up. Because, like, you notice, I didn't cut that side out correctly. There's no flare for the fender. So you can cut these fenders out as big as you want and not mess up the body. So the J Concepts, what did I say it was? 0344? Would fit your 336 no problem. Now you're in Sweden. I don't know what the availability is of J Concepts. Now, but you can on AliExpress look for 328 bodies. And you should actually be okay on a 328. One of the rigs here, his name is Blue Sky High. He runs a 330 millimeter wheelbase, and his factory MST JP1 body is built for a rig with a 300 millimeter wheelbase. You just want to skew the body so that you kick the front wheels out forward. You can get away with a lot. Now, if it's something that has fender flares, molded in stuff, you're going to be really stuck. But you should be able to find at least a 328 wheelbase where you are. And if you can get J Concepts where you are, you can get something like this. And as somebody just pointed out, high trails. That's absolutely right. Thomas Byers is dead on. High trail bodies are like 330 wheelbase. They would be, and they're definitely going to fit a TRX4. J Concepts Monster Truck Buddy. Yep, that's what that is. Fossil tires worth getting? Yes, if you can get them. Yes, they absolutely are. On AliExpress, there are barely any crawler bodies. Don't ask me how I know, because you've searched a lot. Yes. Yeah. The usual cliffhangers in a couple cabs. Here's the thing about, here's the thing. Oh my God, I got to sit down for this one. Here's the thing about AliExpress. You can't just go to AliExpress and search for rock crawler body. It doesn't work. You have to look for something very specific. If you start getting down the correct rabbit holes, or incorrect, depending on how you view it, there have to be a dozen different just Defender bodies on AliExpress, both hard body and Lexan. That place is messy, is riddled with rock crawler bodies. They just don't key them right. They don't tag them right. They don't put them in the proper categories. I can go to AliExpress looking for something specific. Like, I know what I'm looking for and I can't find it. That's how AliExpress works. I think it's I call it the Costco theory, where Costco has openly admitted that they basically move their stock around at whim. Like, it's in one aisle and then they just move it over to another aisle, because then you have to walk up and down all the aisles. And then the next thing you know, you've You've bought one of these. you had no intention to go down that aisle, and then there it was, and you went, "Well, that's pretty neat. I'm gonna buy one of those." The only one that they don't have, which I wish they had, is the Fantic makes a blower, makes the little high-speed blower, and I want one, but they don't have it at my Costco, not yet. Keyword climbing car. There you go. RC shells is apparently another one. Can always use a cab and make your own flatbed. Truth. I was looking at the S10, but I'm going to probably chop it in half to make a cab only. Yeah, chopping full bodies into cabs, my recommendation is find a cab. There's an integrity. There's often an integrity issue because they leave a bunch of stuff out. Some bodies are getting cheaper, which is fantastic. I'm all for it. Some bodies are getting more expensive. I'm not all right with that. Yeah, the way it's sitting right now, I can only run 2 screws in it. There might be. Yeah, we might we might have to. I bought incision drive shafts listed as mouse traps from Amazon. My peak Amazon story, the one I tell people all the time. We're gonna make another gear change. In cycling and in any other's pursuit like that. There's this saying where if it isn't on Strava, it didn't happen. I get really obsessed with the minutia, right? The information. So all of my bikes, I have 3 primary bikes. I have a single speed. I have a 1x11, so an 11 speed, and then I have a 2x11, so a 22 speed. So I cross all the things. All 3 of my bikes have power meters on them, strain gauge power meters. So you can determine how much power you're making, which will give you a better idea of what sort of calorie burn you're doing, how much effort, what kind of training load is on your body. Anyway, I told you it gets into minutia. I was searching for a power meter for one of the bikes, and I was just absent-mindedly, like YouTube was playing on one screen, and I'm just doom scrolling Amazon on the other screen. And on what must be page 20, a power meter comes up, Rotor 3D, Rotor from Utah. They make fantastic power meters because you undo a little quarter turn and you open up and it just has a AA battery in there. They just run on AA batteries. They don't use like some odd battery. Like I have ones that use these giant, thick coin cells that are like 2450s or something like that. They're huge. And yeah, they last like a year, but it's a lot nicer to just use a AA battery. So there's a Rotor 3D power meter selling for roughly half of what a Rotor 3D power meter sells for. And I go, well, that's not right. That's weird. So you do that thing where you click on more info and you go to more info. And it just basically had like, it was called like CNS warehousing or something like that, right? And then an address. So you take the address, you drop it into Google Maps. It goes, and where is that address? It's Rotor 3D in Utah. So they're selling white boxes, like stuff that's been discontinued, stuff that they're not allowed to sell below their own MSRP or MAP, but then otherwise they can't get rid of it. They can't send it out to a store and charge a deep discount because then they're competing against their own new models. So they white label their own stuff, sell it out under a holding company, and you can buy stuff for half the money. Thus, it is hidden 20 pages down inside the Amazon search. And I wish that I could say it was a smaller number of like beadlocks that I've bought and found them on like the 26th page of search for those beadlocks. And I'm like, so they didn't pay anything to have the... you can try this one at home. The QR sticker even said mousetraps. That's awesome. Here's one you can do at home. Go to an area, go to Google Maps, go to your town or place where you reside, zoom into a level at which you can just kind of determine where the roads are and everything. And then use your scroll wheel and click in and watch the levels at which stores begin to appear on the map. The further you are away from Earth, and the sooner that name pops up, the more that business paid to have their name come up in the search results. We have local businesses like the donut shop down the street. like the little tiny burrito joint down the street, you have to zoom all the way in until you can like read letters and numbers on the ground before you can see those businesses, because they didn't pay nothing to Google to have their stuff promoted. And it's the exact same way on Amazon. There's the sponsored ones, which irritatingly come up on every single page, and it's always 1-inch SCX24 crap. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh my God. If only there was a way to delete TRX4M from all search results, I would be a happy person. I'm building a transmission looking for 5mm shafts. Any ideas where I might find some? When I built the gearbox in Ratchet, I bought 5mm carbon steel, cut them to length, manufactured them, drilled all the holes, made sure they were ready, took them out, set them on a patio brick, used my my good buddy. He's fallen behind the soldering iron. Hold on. He's relevant to the story. I use this guy because he's good up to like 1200 degrees or something. Heat the metal to a medium red. Let it air cool down to about 200 degrees. Heat the metal up to red. Quench it in oil. After it's fully cooled, clean it off. Put it in a toaster oven at 350 degrees for an hour. And you have now heat treated and tempered the steel. Am I saying that this is the advisable course of operations for everybody? Yes, because you can use just regular black oxide drill bits to drill all the shafts. You don't have to need any sort of special tooling. All you need is heat, a little bit of motor oil, and something that can withstand heat to set the metal on. 5mm steel rod is dirt cheap. Your other option is, over time, you will build up this surplus of little bits taken out of transmissions. Now, yes, you will need cobalt or carbide to drill holes in them, but you don't. They already did all that stuff. They already heat treated them and tempered them and everything. And sometimes, if you get real lucky, the existing holes in it will line up with what you're trying to do. So those are your approaches. You can harden and temper your own steel, and then you genuinely, you really do feel like you've done something. Because when you get into you have the I made this feeling at the end of it. And if you get it wrong, generally a 6-foot stick of 5mm carbon steel or tool steel will cost $8. 5mm drill bits is an acceptable source as well, but you will have to buy carbide drills to drill that drill stock. Because like this, my spinner, this is drill blank. I buy pieces of, this is, I can almost read it. Oh, it says high speed steel HSS USA. They come in like 3-inch pieces to make your own drill bits. And they're perfect. Like, that will never bend nor break. It's very strong. Got proper Holotech crankset for my fat bike from Australia, including postage, was half price of the same set in the UK. Yeah, from the other side of the planet, was listed as pedal arms. Yeah. I love it. Because your initial worry is that it's going to be gray market or clone. And then you find out, oh no, it's just, I have Into Power. My other 2 power meters are both Into Power. The one on my Cervelo and the one on my single speed are Into Power. They make great power meters. One of them is white box and the other one is regular. So one cost about 40% less than the other one, and they're the exact same thing. I'm sure the batteries sitting in them right now are stone dead. I've been thinking about it though. I keep thinking, like the bike, it calls to me. It's like, sure you don't want to go somewhere? And I'm like, I want to go somewhere a little. All right. I have no idea how this width is going to orient. But, so this is where I'm working from currently. It's 12.5 inches wide. with this, because these are, I think these are plus 15s. So we might have to go down a little bit from plus 15. I also haven't, although maybe we won't. So this is going to be so long relative to that chassis. I figured if we're gonna weaponize, we might as well weaponize, right? RC Family just asked if I'm gonna go. Yeah, that seems about right. We'll just mount it about that height right there. He just asked if we're gonna go super skid forward. This thing is gonna kind of end up by default being super skid forward, because that right there is about the wheelbase that I'm going to shoot for. Right about there. Kind of rolls a little. So this thing is going to be around 350, 355. And I will trim. Just out of curiosity, what's a power meter? Mr. Webby, on a bicycle, they will use a strain gauge either in the pedal or in the crank arm, or they will have on the actual tube in the middle, they will have strain gauges in the tube that show when you press down on the pedals, how much do those strain gauges deflect. And then they can use math and wizardry to determine how much power you are generating in watts, to determine how much power you're making. And if they know that power measure, they can very accurately determine how much energy you are expending. So I don't use it from a perspective of, I am a super powerful man. I used it to try to monitor training load, because I was riding 200 to 250 miles a week, and you really need to moderate your intensity. And a lot of people just ride by feel. And the problem with that is, hey, have you ever woken up in the morning and felt really, really good? Have you ever woken up in the morning and not felt really, really good? Those feelings have absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with how your muscles, bones, how your skeletal system is doing, any of that, right? Good and bad feelings come from your brain. Your legs might be knackered and you can't tell. The power meter doesn't lie. It just gives you a number. And I would ride to a load where I want to establish this much load on this day. It's nerd stuff. It's nerd stuff. You don't need to worry about it unless you're riding a lot.
All the others on Strava. My numbers are better than
Or yes, or, comparing numbers with other people, yeah. I like the skid to start just behind the front wheels. That's not going to be possible on this guy. Do you ever run into issues with approach having the body out in front of the tires? Not really. Well, I mean, it's usually the bumper. If it's the body hanging out in front, not really. It'll kind of get pushed out of the way. Oh, there we go. Now that it's flat, so we're doing inverted portals, like you can get that slam kit for your TRX4. There you go. Delicious. We're gonna set it up just like that, so we can look like all the cool guys at the RC swap meet. My bike's calling to me now and again, and my knees answer bugger off. Yeah. I said I don't remember who I mentioned it to, but my knees creaked and crackled like an old pirate ship. Like every time I would stand up, they'd go. It took 2 years off the bike before the creaking and crackling stopped. It was just overuse injury. I had a target spin rate and rode to that. Yeah. I got obsessed for a short period of time with cadence, and then realized that your body is going to fall to a cadence. It's going to pick a cadence that it likes. And then I just stopped thinking about cadence. Because some days I'd end the day at 94. Some days I'd end the ride at 86. It didn't. Some days I'd end the ride at 75. It really didn't matter. Then I've ridden with people that say that if they can't pedal 100 RPM, they don't want to do it. My legs are shot from driving Pedigab for years in Hermosa Beach. No pedicab.
I thought those were illegal in the States.
Weekly dumb, run the portals upside down. There's a company that makes a portal flip kit for TRX4, specifically for the hauler, so that you can slam your hauler if you want to do that. I'm going to try my brazing skills to make a stinger bumper on the bug build. Heck yeah! Someday. Should there be two engines with what you're doing? You mean, do you think I should be using one? Or do you think this requires two? Because, I mean, it has two. So, 270 amp speed controls. So it's going to be, if nothing else, it's going to be overpowered. My knees creak when I try to get into my comp squat. Well, that's the problem. Mr. Truitt and I are both equally guilty of not working on our comp squat enough. Like, I tend to drive standing 20 feet away from the vehicle, so I miss all the opportunities to get my comp squat on. My XE race cadence dropped a lot when I retired from racing. Now cadence is near zero. Can't ride and can only walk slow. So I love trailing with the crawler. Yeah, absolutely. 80 and above is cadence for road bikes only. That's not realistic for mountain biking. Simon, I've seen guys depart the trailhead in like this one on the front and this one on the back. Legs spinning like one of those handheld mixers. And I'm like, that guy's heart rate has to be like 140. Yeah, forward pinion is the next hot thing. It just hasn't caught on yet. That's a way to reverse your motor direction. You just have a gear come up and drive a shaft. We can get it as complicated as humanly possible. This one is definitely, as I mentioned earlier, this one, Charles Hurley asked, are you building for another resident for the canyon or a giveaway? This one is definitely staying here. Oh, wasn't here from the beginning. Oh, no, yeah. No. Yeah, 2. 3,600 total KVs. I saw his comment and then it disappeared. That's like the third time I've seen a comment just disappear. No, yeah, we're definitely doing 2. Because, this is not an all-weather rig either. Like, if you can see all the way through the gearbox, this is just all, or you could drive it underwater. Ooh. Time to hermetically seal everything and drive this thing through a lake. Under the axle servo. Still haven't gotten a successful run with the spark axles. Instead of it making work, and I'm switching to 4-link and servo and axle. Apparently, I love unfinished projects. Yeah. 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 Yeah, before I built my single speed, I used to the single speed is what stopped making me focus on cadence. Because for those who don't know on a bike, there's a real sweet spot in the middle where you can just pedal there and you'll be fine. Below a certain RPM, they call it mashing, and above that cadence, they call it spinning. I am neither a spinner nor a masher. I kind of just do the thing. And then I built my single speed. And I was climbing a particularly steep street, and I looked down at my computer on the dash there, handlebars, whatever, and my cadence was 18. And I was like, that means it's 3 seconds per revolution. And I felt more proud than anything I'd ever done because I was successfully pedaling at 18 RPM and not falling over. Because your other option is fall over. So then I just paperboyed my way up to the rest of the top of the street. And then I never rode up that street on that bike again. Oh, we have the ability to delete our comments if we spot a spelling error or just want to redact it. Do they make real-life comp crawlers that are electric? Not that I'm aware of. Not yet. Honed my cadence on a set of rollers. Absolutely can't ride without clipless. Same. I cannot ride in flat shoes. I watched a video where they said you don't pull up. Oh, you're not actually pulling up. Put me on a bike in flat shoes. I will try to knee myself in the face. If you don't think I'm not pulling up, I am pulling up, everybody. Yeah, clips. If I'm not clipped in, I can't ride. People destroy U-joints, drive shafts on V8s, imagine on electrics. Yeah. Have you calculated your final drive? Capriol axles paired to that box is super low geared. I want to say that the final on this is, it's like 11 to 1. It's like 11 to 1. I had the same concern, but it's really easy, and I still haven't opened these to even find out what's in them. It's really easy to put 1520s in the portals and just take a bunch of gear reduction out of the portals. I don't remember if it was these or the Rhinos, but one of them, they don't run the big axials. They don't run 1223s. I'm gonna have to tick and count at the same time. Gotta count it again. Nope, it's 1223s. Okay. So 1223s in there, so that's 191 in the axle. Also, there's always the change the pinions, ring and pinion. But we will go off of A30s. So, where's my calculator? 23 divided by 12 is 1.92. 1.92 times 3.75 is 7.2 to 1 at the axle. And I want to say that the output from the box is around 11 to 1. Yeah, that's like, what's that, 77? 70, no, closer to 78. 78 to 1? 78 to 1 is a little low even for 1800s. Now, it actually isn't, because you just solved it right there. Who said that the gear ratio? That guy deserves something. He deserves. Sofa King Scale RC. He deserves a virtual pat on the back, because we'll just run it on 4S. There you go. We'll just run it on 4S and not worry about the gearing. Yeah, because 77 to 1 on an 1800, even with big tall boys like this, is going to be on the slower side. Yeah, but I love gear reduction, and I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. How do we get to talking about bicycles on our RC channel live stream? Because it's all related.
The Amazon rabbit hole.
Yeah. VW is coming out with a real one motor on axle, at least on the rear axle. I remember BMX kids that couldn't ride down the street without clips. Yeah. But those were probably the old cages, which are deadly. What's everybody doing for this holiday thing that's coming up? Same? I haven't seen those wheels before. Could you show them on camera, please? They look fancy. Okay, so this is the color that they came because they were cheaper this way. I didn't like that, so I painted their faces black. The front barrel is all one piece. They have holes for screws, for beadlock screws in there. I didn't put them in because why would I want things to scrape on the ground? They're fairly easy to put together, but don't buy these. If you see one like it, buy something like it, but don't buy these. The barrel, I know this part is the barrel, and this part is the face. The face is attached to the barrel. You can just see where the head is right there. With 5 1.4 millimeter screws that use a 1.3 millimeter driver, which a lot of people might not have. It came with an Allen wrench, and I wish it was still here on the bench because it looks like a piece of wire. They do the thing where the hole for the screw is basically the size of the screw head, so they like squeak on their way in. Also, from here to here, I should be able to actually exhibit it properly. Oh, I just unmounted a set of tutus. The real problem with these wheels is our 61.5 on there. If I were to mic another set, I would say they're usually around 61 or a little over. We'll try to go straight across. 59.3. Mounting these was not fun. Oh, the matte black, yeah, like I say, they're actually this color, and I did them to matte black. If you want to do matte black this way, regardless of where you live in the world, you have an auto parts store. Auto parts stores still exist, right? Again, Duplicolor to the rescue. Duplicolor high heat, which is good, supposed to be good to like 800 degrees. Get yourself a toaster oven. Don't use your mother's, brother's, sister's, wives, spouse. Don't use anybody's toaster oven. Buy yourself the cheapest toaster oven you can. You take the faces, the barrels, whatever parts you want to paint, put them in the toaster oven on the highest temperature, leave them in there for about half an hour. Take them out with, I prefer these because then you don't drop them. Take them out, put them on a piece of something. Paint them with the high heat enamel while they're still smoking hot. Then take them, slide them back into the toaster oven, put them back in for about another 30 minutes, and you will get a pretty durable, near hyper matte. This is low gloss black. It comes in all the finishes, but it's like $8 a can. And they came out great. I didn't like them with the bronze, but they were far cheaper with the bronze than with any other face color. I think they actually come in black, but I wouldn't recommend this particular wheel. I only bought this particular wheel for a singular reason, and that video isn't up for like 4 more days. I think that's the Christmas Eve video. My Christmas Eve gift to you is that these wheels came with tires, and it's the tires that came with these wheels. They are, and you know that when I do this, they could either be tremendous or tremendously terrible. I would be excited by both, so I won't spoil it by letting you know which they are. Too much work. That's too much work. You don't do anything. You put it in a toaster oven for half an hour. It's not like you have to monitor it.
You have to go out and buy a toaster.
And then you take them out, you spray paint on them, and then you put them back in the toaster oven. It's more effort to fill a glass of water. You know what? I'm going to say it. You know what? It's these kids these days. These kids these days, I swear. What are you gonna do with them? What are you gonna do with them? These kids. Yeah, he is a youngin'. I don't have a toaster nor decent black paint. Okay, look, listen. Look. I've never been to Spain. But I can't imagine that a toaster oven is particularly expensive. Okay, all right. He needs to hear it. Wait, I need to switch to this one so I'm not reaching over the camera. We'll go down to here. I am reaching over the camera, but you can't see me doing it. All right. So, upcoming video. It might be Thursday. It might be Friday. No, it might be Saturday. It might be over a week from now. He's almost ahead in content. A torch will work as well. You can get things too hot with a torch very quickly, and you'll blow the temper out of the aluminum. And then the first time you screw a screw in it, it will just tear that aluminum out because you've turned it back into the silver butter from whence it came. So a gentleman from the faraway land of Mythigan, it doesn't exist, I haven't filmed the video yet because I'm going to film it tomorrow morning. But you've seen this one, right? The Mias ME8B. The ME8B. Is RIT dye still a thing anymore? Absolutely it is. That's what I dyed RoboKitty's cage with. So if you're familiar with that one, you might be familiar with this one. Similar. Yes? Similar? Do these appear similar to you? I don't want to give away much for the review, but there's 100 people that are going to get a pre-video bonus here. The bonus before the video is even filmed. Oh, also, you may be familiar with this, which is well, let's just say there's some similarities, right? Who doesn't like safety orange? You gotta load it. You gotta load it up the chute. All right. Specifically for the gentleman in Mythigan. All right. Okay. So already, if you are familiar with the screen on this, we can just boot this one up. Mias already did a better job. These are all spoilers. Mias already did a better job. Watch when I pull. I'm going to pull the throttle on this one. Can you see it? It's right here. You can see the number going up and down. Who thought green on gray was a good idea? When you pull this one, can you tell which one I'm pulling? I can. They already did better. All right? They already did better with that. Right? Is nice. Is nice. Now, a lot of the rest of it is the same. We do have a limitation. Color contrast is terrible. You have one choice for battery on this. It's right there. Which makes this thing absurdly light. And surprisingly, not as top-heavy as one would think. It feels a little small for my hand, but I have to remember, not everyone is an ape. So, they do have something, the 8s, the ME8 and the CT8 have something that the CT6 doesn't. When we go into this menu, model page 1 has 4 options. When we go into the ME8, model page 1 has 5 options. I don't know if you're ready, though. What? What? Throttle works, too. Oh! Okay, I'm trying to look at the monitor up there to see. Okay, I'm going to go again. I'm going to go again, but I'm going to look at the screen. Oh, I'm terrible. Is this the best thing anybody's ever seen, ever? There's like a trick to it, because when you pull the trigger, the whole road moves faster, so you can cover more distance. But if you just leave it back, it's like easy mode. You can just kind of drive in between the cars. But I think your score goes up faster. It does. I'm going to crash on purpose. I mean, right? Must buy. I mean, have they fixed the option titles? They kind of have. Okay? Phase. Also, when you go into like phase, look at this. Right? It makes sense now. Right? That makes more sense than it used to. Range is EPA. They didn't. Again, it's spoilers all over the place. They both came unpaired. You literally click start and it went like that. It's the easiest pairing ever. It has all of the usual stuff. It's a little bit less weird in the naming of things. Like it still has linearity, which is Expo, but the color contrast on this one is great. And like, are these usable? I mean, like, certainly not for any sort of a four-wheel steer type of thing. I don't know what I made a noise. So that episode, again, spoilers. That episode is a full this or that. I can't even remember who's who. Tomax has one and Zaymot has the other. So we're going to drive them side by each because I'm genuinely curious. Clearly, Mias put their own software into it. They kind of changed the tones. It has all the stuff. Yeah, Mias is on fire. The Mias screen is way, way better. Also, another additional spoiler. The Mias comes with a battery. So the Mias is about, I think it's around 30% more expensive than this. But comes with a battery. It's bright orange. The display is better. I don't know. We need to see them in a this versus that format to see them side by side. I can't make a judgment yet, but the ME, and I mean, like, it's, I mean, it even looks like you can tell they just changed the font. They're the same. They're the same thing, but they're not. Yeah, $50, but okay. As Mr. Mythigan points out, $49 isn't exactly a fortune, but Black Friday, $50. Yeah, I can't play games on it, but I can't take that over this. Also, there's another one of these on the way from Amazon because I forgot that I bought this one. Where can you buy the Mias one? You can order it straight from Mias. They have them on Amazon. Last I checked, they were on Amazon. Here, have my homework. Copy it, but don't make it too obvious. I think that's RC crawling just as a pursuit, though. Copy it, but don't make it obvious. Only half of them make it really, really obvious. I'm going to see if one of my little stubby drive shafts is long enough to mock this up, or if it's going to fall apart. It might stay together. I need some pins. I'm genuinely thrilled about the idea of reversing the motors so that they both spin, so they spin opposite directions. That's my favorite thing of the day. Because as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh man, I hope these spin in opposite directions. But then I thought about it, and they're both 3 gears, and I was like, nope, they're gonna have to spin the same direction. Even as I was putting the pinions on, I was like, dang it, they're gonna have to spin the same directions. Dumbo with gyros for fast cars. I'm telling you, on a fast car, once you go to something like properly nice, it's really tough to go with anything else. Yeah, the only drive shafts I have, sadly, are, well, so these are the 2 different lengths I have on hand right now. And the length that I need for the intermediate is right in between these 2. So this guy will indeed reach from one to the other, but not really. Needs to be well, not that much longer actually. But that angle is that's basically what I was trying to check. And then what I wanted to check was this big Mias, gold Mias one. It's probably going to be in Joras. I'll probably just go on Joras or cut to lengths. We'll see. I'm about to temporarily assemble a 4-link front suspension without one of the upper links. On a scale of 1 to 10, how poorly will this go? Well, you're just building a 3-link. When you convert a 3-link to 4-link, you just make the upper link again. So all you make sure that you, when you have your upper link length, know that it's the right length, and then when you get another link, you can make a second one. Anybody who has taken the servo off the chassis on an Ecto has done exactly what you're doing, but kind of in reverse. What's the final color choice and design? I didn't know if it's going to be bright pink or mustard brown, and if it's going to have a flag on the roof. I mean,
Bright pink and mustard brown.
Do you know what a chimera is?
There are multiple definitions.
Another RC6GS. Oh no, really? Who couldn't use another good radio? Says no one. Yeah, I could take another one. If anybody's throwing radio links around, I'll take a couple. I'm not opposed at all. We can we'll do a drive shaft mock-up. I need to mock one axle in place to give me. Oh, and this is gonna hold the axle in the correct rotation. Sort of ish. I need a tires. Yoga block? Tires. Yoga block? Yoga block might be too tall. Foams. Maybe foams.
Why don't you use those hardens?
A little taller. If we don't move, it won't fall down. I need to find a 3D printer guy for a radio base for the Mias. Yeah.
Ask your community about the
Oh. So Mr. Spain does not know what a chimera is. Think two things split right down the middle. So there's never a 0% chance. Think of a 5% chance that it's just brown and yellow on one side and then pink on the other. It could happen. I'm not ruling it. I'm just saying, don't rule it out. I think that's not quite sitting the way we need. Oh, my bucket of foam!
Pepto root beer.
Nobody mentioned my bucket of foam. This is what bucket of foam is perfect for. Maybe one more piece. Nope. It's a little too high. Nope. Fell off. Nope. Need screw pins. This is where... Oh! Hold on. Do I remember where they are? I do. If I use these, they're captive. I thought a chimera was 3 things. Have you ever used the Mias Capra isokinetic axles? Do you like them? Are you playing a trick on me? I need to know. Like, I need to know if you're playing a trick on me. Because that's literally what these are. I feel like you're playing a trick on me. But I can't tell for sure. I'm just so excited that I'm actually mocking something up. Half man, half bear, half pig.
Man, bear, pig.
Man, bear, pig. That's what we're shooting towards now. We're going for a full man, bear, pig.
Brown in the front, pink's in the middle.
This thing's being real ornery. Yeah, the quality of screw pins is all of those are the isokinetics. I think that's the only Capra axle Mias makes. Are these the isokinetics? They do make normal ones? Well, the only thing they change is the universal. It's just a double universal is all it is.
Yeah.
And I can say this now. I don't want to prejudge, but I've been waiting over a month now for my Mias Capra axles. Okay, we need to take a pause for a second because sometimes I like to be a real jerk. Can you recommend the 9 iMod servo? Just bought one for a trail truck. Well, that's not really a recommendation, isn't it? You already bought it.
You want confirmation you bought the right one.
You want confirmation that you bought the right one. 9 iMod makes a servo that I would classify as adequate. They use Chimera now. Like you'll see if you watch Jacob Knowles, the lobster fisherman, they'll find lobsters that have the color split straight down the middle. Like there'll be a normal color lobster on one side and albino on the other side. There's something backing down the driveway. It's not me. So, Mr. Truitt said just a little bit ago, where is it? Where's his name? I've been waiting over a month now for my Mias Capra axles. 2 weeks ago, during the live stream, I ordered a set of Mias nylons directly from Mias, and now they're right here. So our good friend, he's got to have an upcoming video because he's gonna oh, by the way, okay, hold on. I'll come back to that in a second. I just wanted to flex on Mr. Truitt. I don't know anybody. He ordered his off of Amazon Mias storefront, and I ordered mine from Mias directly. Will the Mias isokinetic CVDs work with AliExpress Capras? I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. So far as I've seen, from the 3 different types that I have here, all of the offset Capras use the same drive shafts. So you can put anybody's in anybody's. I wonder. See, it can't fall apart. It's handy. It's handy for that. Now we can go like this. We can go like this. This is also going to give me an idea of link lengths. If we can position this thing, I could have put it on the jig. I guess that was an option. That was an option that was available to me. The thing that I can't get used to is you can't spin the drive shaft and make the motor work. Like you can't. Like ordinarily, if you're trying to clock something, I would just turn this and that would spin, but now it doesn't. I'm wondering how short the front drive shaft is going to have to be. Because, well, that looks way too long. Don't trust your eyes. About to start a build SCX3 kit or Gold Rush. That's tough. Mr. Dusty Joe, that is tough because I'm a sucker for dig, but the value in that Mias Gold Flake is
It is a pretty chassis.
Is way up there. I'd say to Mias, honestly, Oh, for one reason. The kit, the base camp kit is on AR-45s. If it was on Pro axles, no brainer. Pros with an LCXU, oh, but 45s are okay. I was going to ask if you have some spare seals for Desert Lizards. I absolutely have. And when I rebuilt them, I may or may not have pinched them again. What are you doing? Yeah, I have some. The blind guy is not on the Discord, to my knowledge.
I made an account. Just doesn't interest me.
Yeah, he's not interested. Where's my box? Yes. Now, when you say you pinch them, you mean this one, right? The bigger ones, or are you somehow destroying the green ones? Because I don't know if you can tell, but I have both. So yeah, just don't let me forget. We need to put together an itemized packing list before that thing heads to Spain, because damn near everything I've mailed to Europe out of here, I have forgotten to put something in the box. I would like to try to avoid that this time.
You could just put in an envelope.
Yeah, and still, it'd be like $4 to send $1 worth of seals. Oh, yeah, wait. Yeah, that's crazy long. Okay, we're going to need much shorter than that. I'm going to have to lay links out. Yeah, that's 370 right there. I don't think I have anything shorter. I don't have... I'm an idiot, you know it. I don't have any drive shafts that are suited to this at all. That's actually... I take that back. I have one. I have basically the rear drive shaft. But nope. I take that back. No, the rear drive shaft's a little too long. Besides, what I'm going to do with this thing is front links first. It's always front links first. We'll set that front axle because I basically want to give myself disconnect this here. I said disconnect this here. I want to give myself the right amount of clearance so that the BTA and everything is right about basically very, very loosely stated. I want that rod, I want that bar and that tie rod basically parallel to each other right there. So that's about where the front axle will be. And then once we've got the links in for the front axle, that will allow us to establish the wheelbase, because then we just put the rear axle. We're going to build to the body from there. That's how it works. That's why this episode of this is a do nothing, is a mock-up, because I would just love, if possible, to not rebuild every link 7 times before finishing this thing. I would also love, unconditionally, finding a pre-existing link that I can either add a bend to, bend it more to suit my purposes, something off the shelf. I really don't want to have to build my own double bend links from scratch. I will if I've gotta, but I would rather not.
Will it be long enough?
I don't know if honestly, I don't know if I have anything that's going to be long enough. That's definitely titanium. I can feel that one.
What about the double bends on the UA1?
Oh, they're really... Their lowers are 185s.
Wow.
Okay, let me see. You know, it's probably actually easier to do this without... The wheels are just making this thing roll around. I'd like to... Anywhere 330 to 350 would be great. Depending on where it falls. I can always cut the wheel wells a little bit. You know how I roll. I would like to cut a body as little as possible. The less I cut off the body, the more I like it. RC Family made his. Did you do a big double bend on the rear? I don't remember. I feel like I watched that. But I don't. But then again, how close of attention do I pay to anything? Really. I always think of myself in the light of the old Far Side cartoon where the kid raises his hand and says, "Teacher, may I be excused? My brain is full." And I live that every day. And sometimes I think my brain is full. Yeah, see these. I love the shape of a Capra portal box because it just sits at the angle you would want it. All right, fine. You raise a valid point. These are 4mm axles. Big double bend on the rear and heated the Delrin in the oven and bent those. Nice. Can you do the dual motor ESC setup with a FlySky GT5? I don't know. Maybe. Channel mixing, to my recollection, the GT5 doesn't really have the depth of mixing function that you find on like an RC6. And an RC6 doesn't have like a world-beating amount of mixing function either. It has enough. It generally has enough for my purposes. So what did we say we were going for? We'll set 340 and see how that sits in the body. Yeah, I just have this feeling that there's no way I'm going to get away from not building. I just received that build jig. Did you glue the feet in? No, I just let them fall out all the time. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. I literally, I should glue them in. I just let them fall out all the time. I'm terrible about it. I keep the little red guys just in a pocket in my silicone organizer over here in front of the soldering iron so that I remember where they are. I would want it right about there. Yeah, 340. Yeah, that is 340. Let's see. I mean, you if anything, you generally want your front axle a little bit forward in the well because it's going to try to bite the back more. And then in the rear, that's dead center. That's dead center. I think the body might be 330, but this in crawling, oh no, in crawling, this is what we're going for. I mean, if you want to talk, as I mentioned earlier, to the I don't know if he's still here, but the guy that was mentioning he's got a 336. This is a 300 millimeter wheelbase body, and it was cut and drilled and everything long before this vehicle existed. I would like to state now, as we talk here, we're friends, we're a group. We're now Mias nylons paired to an XF, Canyon rails, all of the stuff. There might be a couple of MST hollow balls on here. That's it. There's no MST left. The body. I mean, the body doesn't really count. But Blue Sky High began as an MST CFXW and now has no individual parts from an MST CFXW. They are all over here in a box. The only thing that I'm short is one shock tower, and then I can rebuild an MST CFXW. These little captive guys are the drive shafts for it.
So when that came, it came with the 300 millimeter wheelbase.
Yep. Yeah, with front axle forward, you get better approach. Yes, indeed. I was just going to say the only gripe I had about that setup tool was there was nowhere to put the hardware. 100%. Server question. Have you tested the Flash Hobby 60 kg 270 versus 180? Any difference in strength or just the distance and throw? Your radio will only throw so far. So I have a mix. You name it. I've got 180s, 270s, in all different brands. I'm sure if I grab some Flash Hobbies here, one would say 180 on the bottom, one would say 270 on the bottom. It comes from, it is my understanding, it comes from the aircraft world where they have, their radios will have servos of bigger throws for like rudders and ailerons and stuff like that. We are generally limited to 180 degrees of throw. The only way you might notice a difference is on some servos. You will end up having your endpoints set to like 60% because it's throwing to 270. I guess also we're getting into a lot of stuff. Edge TX, for instance, MT12, which was mentioned earlier, basically is all flight protocol in it. So it will run any servo. So you can get the 270, you can get the 180, and it will throw that 270 to 270. Now, the counterpoint to this is that a servo's torque is over that 180 degree sweep. And if you have reduced the amount of throw that you're using, you're reducing the amount of power that servo can provide. I love those rare instances, which are few and far between, where you set the endpoints on a servo and it's like 100. So the servo is just throwing full 100 one way, full 100 the other way, and you don't have to trim it one way or the other. I feel like every servo here is trimmed in one way or the other. But to shorten a long answer to short, buy the cheaper one, Mr. Camarota. That's what I do. I buy the cheaper ones. The 270s tend to be cheaper for whatever reason. If there is a differential in torque, I do not think that it is one that is measurable because I use them all. I have servos out here that have 360 written on the bottom. I buy the cheap ones. This is especially noticeable with the cheapies. Amazon Blue cases, 35 and 45 kgs. A lot of those, for whatever reason, the 270s are cheaper. So most of the ones that I have are the cheaper ones. I want to say, with a reasonable degree of accuracy, that both of the servos in the twins are the 270 degree 35 kg servos, and I've never had a problem. Why are hollow balls so bloody expensive? Organized Chaos tries to give a reasoned, thoughtful answer. It's hard to drill into a sphere. I'm going to counter that by saying this. Hollow balls are expensive because we didn't steal them from anything. Hollow balls are hollow balls. And if you're buying them from someone who is real, if you're buying them from Traxxas, Element, Axial, even Yeah Racing, Hot Racing, whoever, that hollow ball has a very, very limited utility. It will fit in a fairly specific rod end. It will fit on a fairly specific vehicle. Anything double shear, you need a specific width hollow ball. You want to know how I know? Because how often do you think I need 5.8 by 7? Well, they come in every cheap giveaway rod end. They won't even fit in the typical 5.7 rod ends we use. I have to sort these all with calipers because when you try to shove this into the rod end made for this. You're like, why is this thing so tight? It barely moves. Why do you not just throw them away, you ask? Because as your vehicle is driven and driven and driven and the rod ends start to get all loose, you pop those 5.7s out, you pop the 5.8s in, and they're good as new. But yeah, 5.8 by 7 is not common use for axles. Mias, the nylons are unique in that the lower mounts are 7.5 wide and the upper mounts are 7 millimeters wide. Most companies are very consistent. That's a very axial move on their part. I don't explicitly know why they did it, but I'm thankful for it. Oh, UPS just delivered something. Because I have a lot of 5.7s and 5.8 by 7s. 7.5s are what I run out of because that's element axles. That's most of the Vanquish axles. I want to say it's Mias axles. Hollow balls. I think I prefer hollow ball to pillow ball. I don't know why. So, if we were going by what I said before, yeah, that should be pretty easy to stick with. Don't you do it. No. I said no. I said no. This is all very scientific. This is how science is done. There you go. Tsunami. Odd size hollow balls can be used up everywhere single shear. Agreed. For single shear, I tend to favor these guys. The old Traxxas. Huge on one side. These were the necessity back in the day because it was the only thing that would stop your shock from just popping all the way off and your front end grinding into the ground. The old Traxxas 5.7 by 8.3. Yeah, save the 7.5 for axles. And well, that's the thing. I try to live by that philosophy of saving the 7.5s, but Element is like all 7.5. So you go through 2 bags of them. The cheapest way to get it, and I hate that I have to say this aloud with words, is if you get the, is it Team XOR? Something like that. They sell 25 packs on A-Main, and they're about $20 for 25. Under $1 is good. The Yeah Racing and Hot Racing ones tend to bounce back and forth. Usually like $8.99 for 10. So that's all right. I don't like spending money on hollow balls, but like, what are our choices? Yeah, they're from back in the days when longer bolts and washers kept the shocks from popping off. If you look at, okay, let's talk about shock towers. If you look at shock towers, so you have 2 shocks on the face of something, every single one here has a long screw driven in from the back, and then we're attaching the front with washers and a lock nut. Did we get anything good?
My packages.
That's boring. I like that there's no measurement on the Amazon packages below 0.1 pounds. And it feels so light. It feels like they delivered you something empty. We'll see what's in there. Oh, I know what those are. I don't need to open them. Under pressure. So this is the same one from Mythigan. Yes, Mr. RC Family, yes you can. Ooh, it's soothingly warm. It's so warm. It's been in the back of that truck for a hot minute now. Oh, the ASMR label pull. Yeah, the man in Mythigan has sent in some cans of paint, and the last ones, the whole bottom of the box, the bottom of the box looked like this when it got here. But the cans didn't fall out. There we go. We'll just throw this over in the box pile. They got me again. Who wants to help me come pull a camshaft out of a Cummins tonight in the 25-degree weather? Pass. Yeah, don't you need a crane for that? Remove the whole front clip of the truck to have room to pull it out. That sounds like a blast. There's a reason that I play with toy cars and don't crawl under the big ones anymore. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Some fat boys. Some real fat boys. Eesh. Ooh. Oh. I don't know, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. First, I was thinking the oil slick to you know, because we got the purple tones in there. Maybe purple for the body. But I don't know. I'm a sucker for a turbine style wheel. This is basically like Argenum's wheel, but 2.2 and just absolutely thicky. That is, as soon as I read it, I was like, that can't be right. Yeah. Rolling on 40s. 40 wide. Oh, hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. I need to check a bin. The desk is getting polluted with rigs again. I can't even maneuver. Oh, man. I had a set of silver rings. I thought they were 2.2s, but they're 1.9s. That's unfortunate. Because now I'm thinking, what would these look like with silver rings on them? Just all silvered out. Ooh! Or I could go on Amazon. I wonder if I can find purple rings. Purple rings. These with purple rings on them would be disgusting. Dang! Look at that hub. These guys aren't messing around. I want to see that barrel. It's a 2.5. It's a 2.5. Put a couple of those trucks side by side and you can change the direction of Earth's rotation. Spray that body black with those wheels. Oh, I don't know. That sounds pretty good too. Look at that. So you got the wheels that they do it one way or the other. These are all front barrel, and then the back is just that lip. There's the face, and then barrel. The drawback to when you get thickies like this is that you can't go cheap and put brass rings in them because you're probably not going to find a brass ring that wide. Yeah, I got. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Would that work if you cut?
It was really annoying. Yeah, you could do it with wheel rings. Yeah, you probably just a JB weld them back together.
Would you even need to put them back together?
As long as they had something to orient them, so they don't try to slide over each other, then yeah, you'd probably be fine. This is how I attach to these. Yeah, see, it's all face.
Nice.
Now imagine, if you will, let's cut and shut our own inner rings, and then we can rock some 55s. Let's rock some 55 deeps. Now, see, I also like this because when I saw this come out to 12.5 wide, I was like, that's a little wider than I wanted. Actually, it doesn't really matter what direction I mount these. I have to take them all the way off and apart. Yeah, there's that real different. Give me another one. Look at the amount of like what you would like. Look at that gap. Look at that gap right there. And then look at that. I like that. And these go together about 700% easier. Oh, I'm so mad at those other wheels. You live and you learn. Like, I just mounted a Sedona. Rings aren't attached. One screw in the back. Yeah, I mean, if we're putting this up to a pole, it's these, right? It's gotta be these. Those look good. I'm cooling on these. Yeah. Now I'm thinking, yeah, just like, just toothless style. Just blacked out. With these. That's that. Oh, it's so shiny. It's so shiny. What do you want?
One of your rims.
Which one?
The ones you just got. The thick ones.
It's turbines. Yeah.
Oh, I thought turbines were the ones that look like kind of webs.
These are real turbines.
I always think of Endura turbines.
What did I miss as I fell asleep reading for my 8-year-old? That's how you do it. If you're not falling asleep while reading a kid's story, that kid's story is ineffective. Dang. Dang. TXXRCSS is not messing around. Look how long the screws are for the beadlock rings. Those are the longest I've ever seen. Are those 2.5s? Those are 2s, right?
2.5s, you gotta play for scale hardware.
No, it's still 2, right? It's still 2. It's still 2. It rules out scale hardware, though, basically. They're so long. These are like M2 by 10. That ring is not coming off. That's fine. I don't think I'd like scale hardware on these anyway, because HVO-T3 should be red and yellow for Spain. Oh. Damn, now I'm thinking red and yellow. Red and yellow is Spain, and you got like a Ronald McDonald vibe.
Some golden arches?
Some golden arches on it?
In gold.
Its name is Tapas. Oh, man. I'm getting so, what kind of tire are you putting on those? Only the weapon. We're gonna weaponize. If we're gonna weaponize, we're gonna weaponize. White Sedonas. On these are Crawler Innovations, I think. I think I'm doing dual stages in 2 of them and single stages in 2 of them because we're going maximum forward drive. Particularly now that we're putting them on big thicky boys. Which, yeah, oh my goodness. Look at the height difference. This is on a regular width and this is on the 40s. It's literally just... Now, if you have a pneumatic tire, we learned this. Hey, we're gonna angle Hurley and talk about bikes again. On a bike, if you go to a wider wheel, it doesn't actually make the tire any shorter because something about the volume and the air pressure. But we don't have air pressure, so the wider wheel actually makes the tire wider. Actually pulls it down. They feel real different too. It's about 5 millimeters difference in width for the inner ring. 5 millimeters is a lot, baby. I have the 5-spoke version of and no scale hardware will fit. Yeah, I think because they're so long. Now. Do I have the bag? Somewhere on this bench is a bag. There is a company out there peddling scale hardware. Here they are. I don't remember who it was. They're on Amazon. They make scale hardware that is really long. So I actually could do... I'm going to do a lot of half-completed thoughts here. It's inevitable. Well, we can come to a consensus as to how we feel about the scale hardware. Oh, I don't know. It might be the scale hardware.
I say you take those rings off and make them purple.
What do we think? The ordinary, or that, or I think I have some low pro head ones. I don't know if these are long enough. Okay. 3 choices now. You can see the difference. You can see how much more low pro that one is. That's the included hardware, and that's scale. That scale's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, that's like 4 in a row. Okay, so scale it is. Good thing we have 100 bag, so that's enough to do 1 set of wheels. Oh, we got one for regular. Oh,
Comeback.
It's making a comeback. Now it's only 5-1. Spectacrawl headed out. Have a great weekend and wonderful holiday, everybody. Now, Merry Christmas to you and yours, sir. Oh my God, it is. It's 3:25. Yeah, scale has just dominated. Nobody's catching back up to scale. I was looking at that brand's 5 spokes, but reviews said they were 1.9, even though the description says 2.2. Mr. Schmidt, I've only gotten that the other way, where a tire claimed to be 2.2, and then it showed up and it was 1.9. But whatever the rim is, no, these are definitely 2.2s. A lot of the time you can tell by looking at the back how deep the ring looks, because 1.9s will never be this deep. But I do know that TXXRCSS, they do make 1.9s and 2.2s.
How many screws hold those together?
They're 24.
No, I mean in the back. More than 6?
5. In 2.2s, it's almost always 5. Is that DKK? It might have been DKKY. They're on Amazon. It's $8 for a bag of 100. Which is, I understand, ridiculous. Not Vanquish ridiculous, which is more like $8 per wheel, but they're long. They're long. And I bought a bag of the They make the longs in 3mm too. Look how long those are. Like, the 3mm longs are so long, you could use these to scale out a chassis. Like, you could go down your rails and stuff and put scale hardware on. So, they don't say. They just say M2, M3 scale beadlock screws, M3 by 10. They might have been DKKY. They're on Amazon. They're like $7.99 for a bag of 100. And they have them in all the sizes. They have them in 2, 2.5, and 3mm. Merry Christmas, everyone. God bless. My wife refuses to let me to photograph my rigs under the Christmas tree. Yeah, just do it when she's not looking. She's going to have to leave at some point. Trick her into taking the dog out and then just take pictures of the rigs under the tree. 100%. Stay up late, do it after she's asleep. That's a good option too. And now Brorb has to order some scale hardware. So I am gonna parrot his statements. I'm gonna do that thing that I've done at the conclusion of live streams before, which is, do you see what this looks like? Okay. Here's a little something for you. Let's get this oriented. Yeah. This is how it's gonna stay. I'm gonna turn off the stuff. I'm gonna turn off the lights, and I'm not gonna look at any of this again until tomorrow morning. And then when I come out here to record, I'm gonna curse at myself because I'm gonna go, "You dumb son of a bitch! Why do you not clean this up?" Then I'll have to clean it all up in the morning because the best problem in the world is future me's problem. Nobody I would know put scale hardware all over the chassis. That should have a winky smiling next to it is the one. Where did you get the wheels, the wide boys? They are from Amazon. TXX RCSS. 2.2 aluminum alloy beadlock wheel. They have a number of styles. As soon as I saw these, the next thing I knew, they were in my cart. As soon as I saw that spoke pattern, I was like, hi. I wanted all silver, but they did not have them. They had black face with silver rings. They had silver face with black rings, black face with black rings. They did not have silver face with silver rings. But I kind of like the silver on black. We love leaving problems for future us. Yes, we do. Yeah, Rudy, if you are ordering stuff from AliExpress in advance, yeah, you can do a lot cheaper. The bags of Injora are like $3.99 a bag for 100. But they are much shorter, and I need these long ones. I need the big long ones. So, just bouncing some stuff around here. And we're gonna put this over here. Slide this over like this. All right. I would tell you what videos. The TCX are 22 by 40. Yes. Here's what I'll do. RC Family asked for a link to something. What did he need a link to? RC Family, what did you need a link to? And he wanted the link to that. I will put them up on I'll post them on the community board immediately following this. Post haste. Before I forget, while this screen is still up, I will post them on the community board. The link to the TCXS RS, the link to these, and the scale hardware. Was that what he asked for? I'll put those up there as well. So, yes, it's all very orderly. Yes, I agree. HVO203, the man from Spain, said, hollow balls. Yes. Hollow balls. No ads tonight? No. I have manually disabled, look right here. Well, let's see. I don't know if we'll go directly to the fourth dimension, but see right there? See that thing right there? The $sign, see how it's grayed out? That's called turning off ads. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, baby. Come on. You ready for Christmas, everybody? That's a Merry Christmas, everybody. It's really hard to keep this steady. All right. I'm going to wish you alls a Merry Crisis and a Happy Crimus. Oh, this is like Inception. That was a little bit of the fourth dimension. Oh, yeah, don't forget to ask about stickers. Shoot me an email if you want some stickers. I hope that everybody has a happy Crimus and a Merry Chrysler and a happy Honda Days and a festive Toyotathon and a December to remember and all of the other things. Whatever gods you obey. I think the eggnog went bad. Merry Godmas. We will see you again post-Christmas for the final time of 2024. The 27th will be the last, post-Boxing Day will be the last live stream of 2024. And then that will be immediately followed by the first live stream of 2025. So I hope you all get all of the things that you want but don't need on Christmas, because that's where a good Christmas comes from. Happy Crimus, everybody. Merry Christmas all around. Oh, JP Wirt's Bluetooth headphones are about to die. I have been there before. Susan is warmed up. We're spinning in and out for a Christmas spectacular. Thanks, everybody. I still haven't decided if there's going to be an upload on Christmas Day or not. We'll find out when we get there. I'll see you in the next one. As that guy says, auf Lederhosen, which I'm pretty sure is a type of pants. Yes, we will all we'll meet right here in this exact place again on the 27th to compare the toys that we got from Santa. And I will see you in between then, but I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. We'll give Susan a little bit of one of these. She's got a little bit of tri-flow in her. And I will see you all real soon, everybody.